so underwhelming. That was
I know,
very
they were-
underwhelming.
I was waiting for a click and then it just never happened. It's ASMR.
Everyone's just got to do their own little like.
Hold on.
Openings. Oh, this is dragon fruit. Yeah.
That was aggressive.
I feel like if people who are watching us are gonna start following what drinks we do. Start with monster. Every week it's like a different type of drink.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Laid Back Podcast.
Yeah.
Boys, how we doing?
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're drinking vitamin water, dragon fruit flavor.
Trying to stay healthy.
I swear, it's sweet water. That's what it is.
Does it just,
Yeah.
does it just have more vitamins? Like, does it have vitamins?
Yeah.
Quick, right?
So,
Is that the only
so
difference?
this one's vitamin C. Each one has like a different
really?
focus.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
collect them all.
But is that like the only difference between this and regular water? Just the vitamins?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the whole idea behind it. Flavor and then that.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's so many trends with drinks in general.
Oh yeah.
Like it started off with, I don't know, there's just so many drinks of different things. What was that? Kombucha?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
but that's-
kombucha is like,
Actually
It-
healthy.
it has a bit of alcohol too, so I don't know.
Really?
I think it's all
technically
about the
halal.
What is that?
antioxidants.
It's
in it, I
fermented
believe.
something. It's
I know it's fermented
Yeah.
something. I don't know because I remember I watched that YouTube video. I think,
Yeah.
and it was. I don't remember what it was about. The owner of the kombucha thing. They
I
went
think
to-
so,
What
yeah.
was it a
He's
Cody
so
Co one?
rich.
What was it? Cody Co?
I think his
Yeah.
face looks. Yeah.
So Cody Co made fun of him, and
Yeah.
then the guy watched that video, and then he invited them to his
What a
house,
legend.
and then they did a video with him. Like he's
Yeah.
such a marketing legend. He used. I mean,
That's
Cody Co
great.
doesn't really hate on people. He just makes fun of them, but he
Yeah.
used that
Yeah.
to his advantage. And then
That's
Cody Co
smart.
was like, Cody Co looked like a goof, like
Yeah.
being invited to the mansion of the guy that he made fun
Who
of.
makes so
Yeah.
much fucking
Yeah,
money.
and
And
the guy-
succeeded in life from
Yeah.
kombucha. Dude, he
Kombucha.
opened his fridge and it was just kombucha. I don't know if you remember that episode. He literally opened his main fridge and it's just
no way
like
that's
4
legit.
levels
That's
of
all he
kombucha.
drinks.
Man, you
That's
should.
all he
his-
drinks.
so weird.
His mansion was like something like
It was made
it's
out of
like a
kombucha.
Hollywood actor's
Yeah, LA
mansion,
type
like
of-
something like not like Will Smith level, but like definitely like an actor's
Like
level
a
of
few
rich.
$1 million home.
Oh, I bet he's probably more rich than actors. Actually, what am I even saying?
Way
more
more
rich.
rich.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a company.
His
Yeah.
company's probably
Everything
worth more.
everywhere.
That-
you guys
that
ever
is true.
tasted that stuff? Kombucha?
No.
I
Refuse.
tried
Yeah.
once and
You did?
I wasn't a fan, to be honest. I didn't know it had alcohol at the time, but I mean, it's such a small percentage
Oh,
that
okay.
but like
you can't get drunk off kombucha.
No, you
no, no,
can't.
no.
No.
I saw this girl post something online. She's like, actually, you can go to a party with kombucha. You can stay healthy. And then some guy did a calculation. You needed like 60 kombuchas to get even a little bit.
A lick of it. That's insane.
It's and each bottle, by the way, is huge. They're kind of like
Yeah.
they're always glass and at least this big.
You're
Like,
gonna be
Yeah.
peeing the whole
have to, like,
night just
yeah.
from drinking
Man,
kombucha. You have to like chug that stuff. Like, is it taste good or is it just disgusting?
I found it disgusting. It's like imagine water
It looks
with a bit of like
Is there a flavor or just?
yeah, you can
Yeah.
get flavored kombucha,
Oh.
but it's fermented.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
fermented.
Yeah. No.
good
You
stuff.
lost me there.
Great stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know, it's I don't know.
Where was he from? He just looked so weird. I remember
Who?
when I was
I think
there,
he
the
must have-
owner who was talking.
Did he
about
do anything like?
I feel like I remember him having done a lot of plastic surgery and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, and
Unless I'm
he
totally wrong.
dressed
No
in
idea.
like he
Yeah,
had like a
unique-
weird aura about him.
Unique.
I don't know.
But like everything about his house. I don't know if you noticed the artwork he had, the stuff he had. Like you were saying, Hollywood
Yes.
movie. I can
God,
remember
so
that
much
so
money.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Oh my
much
god. You're saying this stuff and it's coming back to me. I'm like,
But
oh
even
my God.
from these movies, look how much money they're making. Dude, all these actors and actresses.
Ooh,
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn!
Man.
Have you
Yeah.
watched the Spider-Man trailer?
Yes.
Man,
Ooh,
I am so
fire.
So
insanely
excited.
hyped for that movie. Like
I'm so
I'm-
excited.
most anticipated movie.
Of the year, hands down.
100%.
dude.
Yeah.
I think I think it's gonna be. I don't know if it'll beat Endgame in terms of
Probably not,
box
no.
office, but
No.
I think it could be second place because with this movie you're gonna get
Yeah.
Spider-Man fans.
Sam Raimi fans.
That's
Yeah.
why
If
every
I think
single
COVID wasn't a
everybody.
thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. If COVID wasn't a thing.
I think you could almost reach Endgame just because
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like it's
It's
such
the
so-
anticipation
yeah,
behind
yeah.
it is insane.
Man, the moment I saw Doc Ock's claw thing, and then I was like,
Yeah.
and then no, sorry, actually, even before that, when the grenade,
Yeah,
Green Goblin's grenade
Yeah.
came, I was like,
There's no way.
literally, it was intense.
it's just such an anticipated because for me it was because like I feel like when I started watching superhero movies it was Spider-Man 1.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That
Like
was a
for
lot of people's
everybody.
first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man
Yeah.
is what like introduced you to
Yeah.
like it
I watched
set
those
the
movies
path.
so many times.
Yeah, oh my God,
Spider-Man
oh my God.
movie.
The first
So
three.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually love Spider-Man 3. I know it's bad.
Bully McGuire.
I know it's bad, but because I read so many Spider-Man comics. My favorite villain always was Venom. I like Venom.
Oh yeah.
Venom was.
Yeah.
I found like
Venom
he
2
just
is
looks
coming out.
cool.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
looks cool. That's why like I knew like how the character is written.
Yeah.
Maybe like some other villains were better in the Spider-Man verse, like with Osborn. Like he challenges Spider-Man a lot more, but Venom and the whole like symbiote family. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
my
Carnage and stuff.
favorite Spider-Man for the longest time was the symbiote suit Spider-Man, because
Okay.
not for his personality, but just like how cool and strong he was.
Yeah.
Because I don't know,
Yeah,
like
he was
Spider-Man,
OP.
yeah, Spider-Man was always like an underdog,
Yeah.
but for once he was just OP, and just wrecking everyone.
That's so true. I remember.
Was the Spider-Man 3? It was. It had so many fucking villains.
Yeah, that one. That's why I think that was one of the issues people had with it. Like they tried to fit in too much. There was Sandman, there was Venom, and then
Yeah.
there was, I believe,
Goblin
Harry Osborn at one point.
2.0.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
Harry
eventually
Osborn.
switched sides, but yeah, like there was a
too
lot.
much
And
going
they
on.
just tried to fit in too much.
Yeah,
I remember people liked the Sandman.
Mhm.
But I don't remember people's opinions on the other stuff.
I mean,
No.
I felt like the Venom's character didn't get enough
Yeah.
We got a
No,
movie out of
screen
it.
time. Yeah, for
No.
sure.
Yeah,
But I mean,
now.
not the same actor, I
Yeah.
guess. But
No.
I haven't actually
Bro.
watched the Venom movie.
You haven't seen it?
No, but
I
Have you
haven't
seen it?
either.
It's very. I feel like it's a pretty good CGI.
It is good. It's not like the best movie ever. It's not gonna change, but
Yeah.
it's a fun movie. And I
decent.
know I believe I read somewhere that they were talking about they're working on linking Venom and Spider-Man eventually,
Really?
which is pretty
Man,
exciting.
well,
because
this one for the Spider-Man movie, the reason it's so it was they were saying so now they're bringing X-Men and Fox.
No Way Home, or
Well,
Wait,
no,
really?
the one that's coming up. So I don't know if
Which
you
one?
realize. So
Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man trailer that was just out right now,
Yeah.
the whole point of the whole multiverse and things that they're like releasing.
Oh, is to connect everything.
Yes, it's to
Yeah.
connect
Oh,
everything
smart.
together.
That is smart.
Yeah.
That is
Well, that's the whole because
because
now they're introducing it for their new phase of Marvel. They're like, oh, how do we do it? But if we have Doctor Strange and like the whole multiverse and stuff like that, now they can release like just show like the
That'd
whole
actually be such a cool
X-Men,
everything
everything
to
in their
connect
own
now.
universe. Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
now they're
like
all
Eternals,
together.
all that stuff.
man,
can all
adding
connect.
Doctor Strange was such a good move.
Yeah,
That was
Such
one of
a-
my favorite
yeah.
movies. Man. That was so.
Oh my
it's-
god, I actually loved it. And his new one, is it something of Terror?
Yeah.
Apparently
next
it's supposed to
one?
be like
It's rated R.
a horror movie. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
It's the
amazing.
first. He's
I
the
don't know
guy
if
who
it-
made it is making it. The Spider-Man 1, 2, 3.
Sam
Raimi. He's the one making it.
He's the one
Yeah.
who's making the
I don't
next
know if it's
Doctor
going to be
Strange
R-rated
movie.
though, because they said it was going to be R-rated, but I don't think it's going to be the case anymore. But it's still going to be like a more adult rating than
Yeah.
Marvel
I
movies.
think I think I read somewhere that Deadpool's gonna be the main.
It was R the last
Oh
one.
yeah, but they're gonna
Are
sort
they
of
going to
keep that
keep
one
it
as-
R-rated? Yeah.
Oh, you
Okay.
can't have Deadpool. Like, I
know, but that was
have
the
you
big scare of
watched
it,
the
right?
cut
Yeah.
that was PG or PG-14, like of Deadpool 2?
I
No.
heard it was really short or
It's
something like
so funny to watch
Yeah.
because if you watch the original, so many scenes just don't make sense when you watch
Why?
like
that. Yeah.
because if you cut out all the like the R-rated gore, R-rated like swear words, R-rated like scenes from
Mhm.
Deadpool,
Yeah.
what do you have left?
Not much.
But I mean, that's not what it is, though. Like, think of it. The whole character is based on making goofy jokes that are just like not even PG. They're just super, like adult
Raunchy.
jokes.
He's very-
Exactly. That's why
that's
like
him in comics
Yeah.
too. I feel
that's why the movie just doesn't
makes sense.
make
if
sense
it's
when
not
it,
R.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even I feel like it was Ryan Reynolds went on the internet as Deadpool, and there was a video like kind of like making fun of the parents that take their kids to see Deadpool, because after Deadpool 1,
People
a lot
complain.
of parents are like, oh my god, how can a superhero movie be this bad? I took my child and like where he was traumatized in that, and he was like, you're an idiot because like it's R-rated.
Yeah. R-rated.
So
That's why he-
clearly
that's why
it's
you're
not
there.
free, and you knew that, and you went with your kid and bought the ticket for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
kid, and then you got mad. It's like I don't like chicken. Give me the chicken sandwich. This tastes like
So bad.
It's your fault.
I love how in that movie Ryan Reynolds made fun of a bunch of his different roles. Like he made literally
Yeah.
because I don't know if you remember X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Deadpool
he
was in
was-
that
he
movie.
was-
and
he was
playing it. Yeah.
I didn't.
Or playing
I mean,
him.
Yeah.
And think about it, like they literally they shut his mouth. Like it's the opposite of
Such a
Deadpool. Like, it's
weird character.
such a
I
bad
know.
thing. So that's why like, I remember he made fun of it. He made fun of his Green Lantern movie.
Oh my god.
Like
Yes.
I mean that movie was terrible.
That
Like,
Green
I
Lantern
remember-
was so bad.
Green Lantern- that movie
So
I
bad.
remember
That was
I read it was so
horrendous.
bad, and I'm not the kind of guy that really hates movies. Like
Yeah.
it's just most movies are good, but they're some are like okay. I was like, how bad can this movie be? I watched and it was. I remember
Just
finishing that like that was actually worse than I thought. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
It
Such
was
a bad movie.
so bad. And
I don't know. Oh
like
my God.
X-Men Origins.
that was also
Again, I love that movie as a like. I mean, I wasn't really a kid, but like a teenager. And that,
Yeah.
I love the movie. I didn't know it had a shit rating till
Yeah, I know.
recently, and I looked at the ratings like, but why?
Yeah, I know.
There's Sabretooth.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Gambit.
Yeah.
They're like Wolverine does all these cool things. There's like
And then
the
you
whole
watch
like
it. And then you watch it again when you're old and
It's
you're
like
just
makes
like,
sense.
it makes sense.
Why
that
was so-
literally
too much shit was
the pacing was so bad,
Yeah.
and the whole you're right about the Deadpool character was so backwards. They took everything about Deadpool. The only thing that I really liked about that Deadpool is they gave him like the laser vision. Deadpool doesn't have like
Yeah.
in most iterations for Deadpool. I don't think he has that.
But I remember
you
his
have
head fell down and he was like lasering the whole.
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was-
oh yeah, that's why
Yeah.
it got destroyed.
Yeah, and like he had the teleportation, which Deadpool in a lot of
Oh,
the,
yeah.
his older comics,
did that?
he had. Yeah,
That's
he-
OP as
so
hell.
if you play
Yeah,
that's
so
OP.
OP.
And
you heal.
No,
Yeah, I know.
because Deadpool is insanely OP. Like in the comics, he has a whole comic series. Like
Yeah.
Deadpool kills the whole Marvel universe.
Yeah.
He's insanely OP. But like, and he like it didn't just work like that. He didn't do it with his standard powers, but in his newer movies, they're going with the more like modern interpretations of
Yeah.
Deadpool, which is less OP. But like honestly, the movies are way better as a consequence of it.
100%.
Yeah.
But because I played this game, I don't know if you guys know the game Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
I've heard of it.
Yes.
Never played.
Yeah, I
I
played
know
like
this.
the first one.
Yeah, the first one's the best one.
Yeah.
in my
That game,
opinion.
I had my eyes on that game for like a year, and I ended up just not buying it. So I do know what you're talking
in
about.
my opinion, Deadpool is the best character.
In the game,
He has
he was in the game.
yeah, and you
Really?
can run
Yeah.
through levels. You can speed through levels because you can just teleport through doors that you had to do.
really?
Like so, it's a hack and
That's
slash
true.
game. So 4
Yeah.
characters, 4 players,
Oh,
but you
have kind of fun.
you always have to do something to get the door open. With Nightcrawler from the X-Men and Deadpool, they can both teleport. Some doors you can just teleport through, so you skip half the level.
Yeah,
so shut over the actual door.
Yeah, and it's like he has like guns, he has grenades. His ultimate move, he just like literally throws grenades, starts blazing guns everywhere. It's not the most like strong to hit one person, but it's like a lot of area damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man.
can clear. a room
Yeah,
pretty clear.
Deadpool was pretty sick.
I
That's a
feel
good
like because
movie.
back then too, if you compare it now, man, Marvel and like look at the Marvel movies now and the
So
budgets. Back then, everybody was like, it's a bunch of kids watching this. What's
Yeah.
a movie into this? Could laugh at you if you're like even starting.
like
in
a
I
nerd.
feel like it was Iron Man that really changed it.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
It
a
the
lot
first.
of money started going
Yeah,
towards
well,
it.
that's
It took
where
the
it, like,
direction.
yeah, that's where it changed direction.
Yeah.
What was the first superhero movie?
Like
the-
Blade.
Wait,
It's
what was it,
the
Blade?
Blade?
Or was it-
Blade.
Well,
No,
I mean,
it was showing. So the first
yeah.
real superhero movie.
I remember watching
not
that.
like
are we not counting the ones that only went straight to TV? Because there's so many bad ones.
Probably there's like
we're
old
talking- we're talking-
Spider-Mans
yeah.
and old Superman.
sorry.
So
Yeah.
I'll limit it to first like
Big.
big Marvel
yeah,
movies
Mar-
specifically.
yeah.
I don't know much about DC. I know there's a
Blade?
bunch of the different
I was
Batmans
reading
and stuff.
some video
There
was
was
saying it
also
was like apparently
Spawn.
Blade.
Spawn.
Oh.
I'm not sure which came first.
Spawn.
What's that?
Do you guys know Spawn is
No.
like that? I think he's DC,
Oh, it's a
where
hero.
he I don't know, he gets his power from hell or something. I don't know too much about Spawn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get like chewed out for this, but Spawn, I think he had an older movie. I'm not sure if it's older than Blade though.
Mm.
But yeah.
I know Blade was like late
Bro,
19.
the OG
Yeah, late
Blade. Oh
1990s.
my god.
Yeah.
Because it was like what everybody's like, oh, it's Spider-Man 1 that changed it, where
Mm.
everybody's like, oh, yo,
Mm.
superhero movies can actually be pretty good,
Yeah,
and you can put money into it.
yeah,
They were like, oh, it's actually Blade that
Mm.
did it.
yeah.
Like it was because of Blade that Spider-Man was made,
and
and
was,
they even put money into
true,
the
true.
idea of, hey,
Okay.
let's make a movie out of a comic.
and wasn't there
I
a
got
Hulk
you.
movie also before Spider-Man?
That was
Yeah.
so bad though.
It was
the 2002 one where he's like
Yeah.
a mask. It's like a
I
mascot
remember
running around.
They
Yeah.
had 3 different. Well, they have right now. What's his name? The guy who's playing Hulk right now.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo.
Then they had Edward Norton as well. on the Hulk, and then they
the
had
Incredible Hulk.
yeah, and they had the other guy. I know his face, but I don't know his name. But I mean, those
But it
movies-
is the
those were
2002 one.
before Spider-Man. Yeah,
Wait, was it before Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
I think so.
It was
When
just-
did Spider-Man 1 come out?
It's
I have
such a
no
bad
idea.
movie that nobody knows. 2003.
No, the
No?
first Hulk movie before the Incredible Hulk was actually like it.
Yeah,
It had a big impact. It wasn't good. It was trash, but
Mm.
a lot of people knew about it. The
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk again was very popular, but it was I liked
hun-
it, but
Wait,
nobody
which,
liked
which
it.
one came? Was
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk? Was
No,
that the
no,
second?
it was Hulk, like the
Okay.
one where he's
Yeah.
super bright green,
Yeah.
and then it was
He has a
Incredible
mascot
Hulk.
wearing thing. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk was the
Wait.
one where it was the second movie after
Is
Iron
that
Man
the one
1.
where he took the
Yes.
cars and
Yeah.
like at each of his hands?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that scene was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
cool. I don't know what you guys think of
I love the Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk. I
Okay,
watched
yeah,
it
me
so
too.
many times.
I had the video game and you could literally destroy everything. You could throw the cars in buildings and they would
Yeah.
just like crash and stick out, and it was the
That is
coolest thing
great.
ever.
He had a game, or not he, like they made a game for Hulk.
Are you assuming it's Jen?
No, I mean like just Hulk owns the game. But it was on the Game Boy SP.
Yeah.
And it was
Ah.
so much fun. But I think I said this in one of the other episodes where my SP couldn't save games.
Oh, no.
So I
The
had
whole
to-
game, the whole
so I
day. Through it
played
all.
that game so many
Smashing
times.
the whole day.
You're like an expert.
But yeah, I think it was Hulk, then Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
But then they
Yeah.
abandoned all of that because
Yeah.
people didn't like either.
And then Iron Man came out. Iron Man, I think, started the whole
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
MCU. And then
Yeah.
well, there was Iron Man. Which was the second one?
Iron Man 2. Oh,
Oh,
so the second was
no.
Hulk.
Really?
No, it was Iron
No,
Man 2.
Hulk is the second.
wasn't.
It was the
No, no,
movie
I
that came
meant so-
right after
so I-
sequence-wise, like time-wise.
But it
No, no,
doesn't.
no, I meant which movie did they release after Iron Man 1?
I think it was
like,
Iron Man 2. There was no.
Oh, was it Iron
there
Man 2?
were
There's no
no.
Captain America
I
or
thought it
Thor?
was,
No, there was nothing.
No, there was nothing
No,
before.
there was
I
nothing
thought it
before.
was Hulk
It just
before
went-
Iron Man 2.
But no, none of these count.
No, what do you mean? No, so it's the same time. So if you for Iron Man 1 was the first one of the Phase 3.
Oh, I thought you were
and
talking
then
about MCU.
well, it
Wait.
is part of the MCU.
No,
No, it's
it's
not.
not canon.
Wait, which
What are you
one?
talking-
The-
so now I'm not thinking
the
about
first two Hulk ones
the
are
second
not.
Hulk, the
The
Incredible
Incredible
Hulk.
Hulk.
If you guys
The
remember,
Incredible Hulk, I don't think is part of
a
it.
lot of people don't know. If you look at the very end scene credits, he walks in. You know the commander who was trying to kill him, the
Yeah,
guy head
yeah.
of the army. He walks in and he talks to Iron Man. Did you guys not watch the end of Incredible Hulk?
Oh,
I don't
you mean
remember.
in the tent
So-
at the end?
In the Incredible
Oh no,
Hulk, they were trying it out, right? It's the second movie they ever made, and the whole like, hey, let's try this whole idea of interconnecting movies together, with leading to an ultimate goal. So at the very last scene,
no way.
so you know the guy, yeah. So
Oh, you
Incredible
might be
Hulk,
right.
his girlfriend, right? Remember
Yeah.
the dad was the commander of the army.
Yeah.
So that commander of the army, he goes up in the last scene of the movie in Incredible, and he talks to Tony Hawk. He talks to
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
We need to run us
Skateboarder,
straight
yeah.
together.
Talks to Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark's like, "Hey, so there's this thing
You're
called
right.
the Avengers happening."
Oh my god!
and
I
then a lot of
remember that.
people don't remember even the scene.
Oh my God.
Endgame. You know Endgame when they walk into that scene where they're about to quantum they like leap somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a hologram of a guy. That guy is the same general commander from
commander?
The Incredible. The commander from The
Oh,
Incredible.
really?
So people just don't notice.
Oh,
but
yeah,
he's
you
the
know
general commander throughout the whole time. Every time they're talking with the army,
Yeah.
he's the country, they're talking to him. He's the commander.
You know
This
what?
is from Incredible Hulk.
Interesting.
I think they just recast Hulk, so we all.
I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they did recast
was.
it, but then like, yo, let's start making a whole sequence out of it. And then Phase 3, like,
So
started.
the events of the Incredible Hulk were canon, but the
Yes.
Yeah.
Hulk itself wasn't canon.
no, the Hulk
Okay.
itself was. It was just literally the last scene and some part in the beginning part. They grabbed that. That was part of the Marvel Phase. It was part of Marvel Phase 3, but you don't
Phase
don't realize
2.
it.
Threes now.
Was it Phase 2? No,
Phase
Phase 2
one.
was the one that finished. Now
I
we're
think Phase 3
4.
finished.
Phase 4. Okay,
Phase
so
three
that was
just
Phase 2
Yeah.
Was it 2?
or 1
No,
Probably
I
one.
have no idea what
because
the
it'd be
phases is.
Because-
one with Iron Man and
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
I guess,
that's
and then
Phase 3 wasn't until like Avengers, right?
Oh, true. Avengers.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I think was what started Phase 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Guardians.
Yeah,
of
because
the-
Avengers 1 ended Phase 1. Avengers 1. Remember the
no,
2012
I
one?
think
No.
wait.
2012 where they go with the new cup? That ends in
That-
Phase 1.
Oh, is it when they introduced
true.
Thanos?
So
That's true.
No.
No.
But
But
way before. This
No,
is
but
before.
no,
like,
This is Loki.
the
no.
guy who was his bitch. He was the main bad guy.
But no, Thanos
guy.
was
Yeah,
introduced
blue
in the end of
He
Avengers.
was.
Yeah.
He was like shown, but like he
yeah,
wasn't.
so that's introducing.
well, like yeah.
I need to
Like,
rewatch
Bro, I
it.
just
Yeah.
realized how rusty I am on the
Yeah,
MCU.
dude,
100%.
there's so
It's been so
many
wild.
movies. Oh
Man,
my
even-
god.
but I feel like, dude, now that they're all going towards TV shows, like
Yeah.
WandaVision,
There's WandaVision, What
And-
If, there's Loki,
Yeah.
there's
they realize how much
Two
money they
other
can,
ones.
they realize how much money they can make. They're like, hey,
From
why
streaming
release it over-
services, yeah.
Yeah.
services. Yeah,
Yeah.
subscription.
Man, I haven't watched it. I've watched a bit of WandaVision because Ashkin's been making me, or not making me, like he watched it with me. Like it's actually a really good show, but otherwise I haven't watched any
Yeah.
of the shows.
I'm not up to date with any of them, and I hope that doesn't affect.
It does.
My,
It does.
It does. You have to watch them too
Oh,
for the
I
upcoming
haven't-
ones.
I haven't watched either, but
Specifically
you have to
Loki.
watch.
my brother said.
Apparently
My brother
Loki
said
is
that's
the
like
big
the
one.
big one that you
But the
need
thing
to
is, if
see.
you want to get Loki, apparently there's some things in Captain Falcon that they
Yeah.
point towards
Yeah.
that you'll miss out.
Yeah.
And if you want to get Captain, you,
You
have
gotta
to watch WandaVision.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess they'll go. At least they're only like one
Marathon.
season sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not that many episodes. You
Yeah.
can.
It's not like they have to
pretty
finish
fast.
4 seasons
We'll have to
before
binge them
next
all
movie.
together.
I like that though
Yeah.
because it's kind of like a Schneider Cut move where instead of making one movie, you
Yeah.
make a show.
Probably less
And make
budget
more
just to
money.
like fill in, a little bit, huh?
and make more money out of it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Would it make more money than a movie?
Well, think of
Because
they
it
all
doesn't
have to
release on
buy-
theaters.
Well, you have to buy the
They have to
subscription
buy the
service.
subscription.
You know, I feel like it's not as much money right up, but it's more
Over time.
over time.
Yeah.
This is why Scarlett Johansson's suing them, and they're never working together. I don't know if you guys read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
heard
Yeah.
she was like, "Hey, you guys never told me that." Like, because
No,
apparently
because
they made a crap
specifically
ton of
said
money.
they weren't going to put it on streaming
Yeah,
services,
and then
and
they
then
did
they
put it.
ended up putting it
Yeah.
on streaming services.
Like
She has.
She
Oh.
was like, she wanted
But-
money.
Because she makes money, for based off like the box office.
box office.
Yeah, yeah.
But if they, that's 100% going to take up some of the
Underperforms.
box office.
and like box
Yeah.
office numbers are probably weak because of
Yeah.
COVID. But Scarlett Johansson had trouble, like not big trouble, but she always had issues with the directors for the MCU movies because
Really?
if you notice, her character got less and less provocative as the movies went on. So watch her first appearance in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Opened up, hair is
Oh, really?
down, even
Yeah.
the makeup is more intense, and her lines all seductive.
But then,
But then gradually over and over,
maybe she just got old.
no, it's not that. It's
No.
because she was complaining about it
Okay.
to like her agent and that because they were overly sexualizing her in the movies.
Okay.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Like, when
I
you say
didn't know
that, yeah,
either
it makes
because I was reading up about the whole contract thing, but then they were saying like no, there was tension from way before because her character, she said, was always overly sexualized, therefore and like not as like serious. It's almost like all the the guy characters are like there to do the job, and then she's there to look pretty.
I remember. I know the first Avengers movie. It was directed. I don't know if it's the only movie, but it was directed by Joss Whedon. I don't know if you know, but he's the guy who directed the new Justice League, like the one he took over Zack Snyder, and then there were a lot of these reports. He was racist towards Cyborg, and he was all these bad things. Like he was telling, I think, Wonder Woman that he's gonna shut up and look pretty or stuff like that. So,
To see like a very old style
well,
director.
I don't know if you look at him, he doesn't look like that. But yeah, apparently, I mean, if it's the same guy, it would make sense that
Yeah.
I would imagine he doesn't have power over someone like Robert Downey Jr. But
Yeah.
I can imagine him looking at Scarlett Johansson like
you have
okay,
to-
yeah, just
Yeah, like,
yeah,
you-
pull that
whatever.
zipper down just a little bit lower.
yeah,
that
or
first-
else like we'll get another redhead at that point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I mean, they recast the
Yeah.
Hulk.
yeah. Well, the first Avengers movie, I think that was one of the biggest like holy shit moments of my life. When when they're in the theater and
they're
they're all
going
back to
around.
back and it with the music and it just I remember I had like chills. It was just like felt like
What is
2
going
years
on?
of my life just leading up to this moment. It was the biggest thing I've ever
Man,
seen.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. And
Sometimes I wish I could recreate that moment. Just it was
Yeah.
so
Pure bliss.
epic. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so epic.
yeah,
Especially as a kid, like
Oh my God.
we
yeah,
were
this
way
is
more
so-
invested. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Do you feel
Way
like COVID killed their momentum?
I think
no.
No.
It is so. I was reading this. The amount of departments right now Marvel has is insane for each movie. Like they have
Yeah.
groups within groups for each one to make sure that plot holes or aren't existent in like in the plots or everything is like the whole universe is like working together.
Mhm.
There's so many levels now to
Mhm.
Marvel, dude. Whole
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Studios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like,
So-
do you think box offices aren't going to do as well?
well, 100%. I think though, at least for me, one big thing is that because they're starting a new phase without Captain America, without Iron Man and stuff. These are the
gonna be
characters
hard
that we
to-
love. So it's gonna be. It's like I was so invested in those characters. That's why like I wanted to watch all. Now it's like I have to reinvest into
Yeah,
new
'cause-
characters. So I think that might have
Yeah,
affected
get
something.
attached to them. I get what
Yeah.
But I think they're using
100%
Spider-Man as the anchor for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's Spider-Man, there's
There's
Doctor
Thor,
Strange,
there's
there's
yeah.
Thor.
there's
Yeah.
I love
Guardians.
Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, but
because he's young too. So if they grow up with it, think
Yeah.
of it for like 20
But like
years.
these aren't like the Thor 1 and the Guardians of the Galaxy isn't coming out for like another year,
yeah,
maybe 2.
Yeah,
but you don't have the charm of Robert Downey Jr. At least to me, I look. It's like,
yeah.
oh man, he's
it
so
for the
good.
Iron Man.
But you know how much he cost them? Oh,
Insane amount of money.
I read this thing because he's also based on how much money the movie makes.
yeah,
Yeah.
And back then there was no COVID. Remember I read this thing where he made 50 million from the last Spider-Man movie. He was there for like 10 minutes. I read this
Yeah.
meme that was like Marvel knew they had to kill him. Then spoiler, Marvel knew they had to kill him after he caused it. Think about it. I'm pretty sure like
Hello.
like 20 minutes in that movie, and he 50 million. Can't even imagine that.
I mean,
He
man,
was so good.
His
He
agents
owned that
knew,
role.
like they knew he was
Yeah.
the
was gonna
MCU.
be-
He was the
yeah.
MCU. You couldn't
was
take him
carrying
out.
him,
Like,
No.
like you'd either have to assassinate him, pull some Disney magic, and like make
Yeah.
a clone of him somehow. Like, like you couldn't get rid of him. Like, it's not like Hulk where you.
He
can
was the
recast.
face in a way. He was the
Yeah,
face. I
yeah.
mean, you had Chris Evans and whatever, but you think of Marvel. Even though when I was young it was Spider-Man, but like with the MCU,
It's Iron Man.
it's
yeah.
just
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Iron Man was definitely, I think, because it started.
'Cause he was
it,
exactly
and he was
started
in
it all.
every single movie
Yeah.
in one way or the other.
Yeah.
He was just carrying it, and like I think what he also went through from what of a
Oh,
a dick he was at the beginning, and he didn't
Yeah.
care about other
Yeah.
people.
Are,
And
you-
then,
are you talking about Robert Downey Jr.
yeah,
or
no,
like?
well, Iron Man,
Or
Tony Stark, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Tony Stark. No,
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
what
like he
went
literally
through,
sacrificed himself.
Like, yeah, it was a very. That's why. How long was it, dude? 2000. When did Iron Man 1 come out?
2008.
2008.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like 11 years, 12 years.
Which is why Marvel has
Holy
a big
crap.
yeah,
Of
they have a
you,
big
like,
I
head
feel
start
old, man.
because they had all this time to develop the characters. That's why
Yeah.
like DC right now they're trying to they
Yeah.
tried, but it's like You're so
Well,
far
it's because
behind.
they keep
Marvel.
recasting Batman,
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah, this
Like a new
Okay,
Batman's
but
coming
I am
out.
excited.
For,
I am excited.
who's the new guy?
Robert
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not.
Twilight Boy.
Yeah,
No,
but they
he's
can't do better
actually-
than Christian Bale. I'm sorry, they can't.
No.
I think
They will never
Christian Bale
outdo
was
him.
a really good Batman. Ben Affleck was a better Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I feel like as a you know what
Bro,
I
the
mean.
guy looked like a thumb.
Who?
But that's the thing. That's
No,
how.
no,
Have you
but-
seen Batman in the comics? He's so like
Like, yeah, he's a
No, it's
boy.
I was
Yeah,
actually-
but he has a chin.
But no. But listen, because they based him off the Batman that was actually in the Batman v Superman comics, and
Mhm.
he looks like that.
Yeah,
He's just
100%.
because
Yeah.
there's like 100 different like
Yeah.
drawing interpretations of
Yeah.
Batman. If anything, the Dark Knight one was actually the furthest away.
Yeah.
But I still think
like
it was
Ben
the
he was the
Affleck.
best
best
Batman.
He was the best
He was
Batman,
the best
but I don't think
character for Batman.
But I think
no,
he's
don't get
also
me wrong, I
probably the
love
best actor
Yeah.
so far. No offense to all, but you know,
yeah.
he's such a good actor. Everything this guy
Christian
does.
Bale?
Yeah,
He's
such
such
a
a
good
good
actor.
like his
Mm.
He's
tier.
fully committed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
100%.
he's done so many movies where he's had to drop like
Yeah.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
Or gain.
Or gain
Yeah.
100
Yeah, like
pounds
the
in like
mecha-
6
The
months. He's a mechanic.
mechanic into the American Hustler.
Mm.
Yeah.
He watched that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
he
looked-
really
he
went
was
from
just
one.
skin and bone.
Well, that's it. He went from like 110 pounds to 220
yeah.
in a matter of like
How?
Like, on like
He's
6 to 8
determined,
months.
man. I don't know. Yeah,
Welcome
I don't know
to
how they-
Hollywood
how-
magic
that's like-
steroids, my
he would
friend.
say he ate apple and water for
Yeah.
5 months
Yeah.
only.
And then what's it called like his last 2 weeks, he didn't even eat apples. Like
Just water.
It was just water.
Like he was at oh my
That's-
like this guy is about to
imagine
die.
the drive. It's like
Yeah.
you
gotta be
you're a
so
millionaire,
committed.
but you live like you have
So
no money.
committed.
Yeah.
They pay him for that
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
That's how you know, like you're actually getting paid to do what you love.
Yeah.
Like no one would do that for their
Yeah,
job. Like
that's true.
But you know how unhealthy that is for you?
Yeah.
Like that's
you
your
imagine
brain
body's
is-
just
I mean,
Your
body's
body
like,
is
what-
just
what's the-
deteriorating.
I feel
But
like
then you get to relax in your new submarine because you have so much money.
That's
So
true.
it's
That's
not
fair.
too bad.
That's fair.
wait, did he actually buy a submarine? Okay, that was a very specific thing.
I just
That's what George wants.
It was the first extravagant thing that came to my head.
Really? A submarine?
Because I was playing GTA with my friends, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, do you want to go on Alex's submarine?" I'm like, "Alex has a submarine? Like, what the heck? How does he have a submarine?
Flex.
I didn't even know you could get that in GTA."
It's
So
such a flex. Like,
That's
yeah,
insane.
Do you
But
go
yeah.
in the lake? I'm now curious. Do you go in the lake with the submarine?
I have no idea. I just know that we were in the submarine, and then
what
we were.
lake?
No,
Yeah,
it was,
you
it
know,
was
like
a GTA.
Is there a
Oh,
lake?
no,
like
no,
just
it's
in
the ocean.
It's the ocean.
And he was just shooting rockets at the
I
city.
thought you meant like a lake, Lake Ontario.
No,
I was
like,
like,
I'm
you're not
like-
putting a submarine in there, my
Like,
friend.
how do you even get it in there? Just had to like.
We're
fly
talking
it.
about GTA 5, by the way.
That's why I was
Yeah.
kind of confused with the game. But
Yeah, but no, I like Ben Affleck as a Batman. I thought he was good. I thought he looked good, and he has the jaw. You know, we all
Yeah,
know that.
He's a
And
good actor as well. It's
He's a good
just-
actor.
He's a really good actor.
I don't
I
know.
think they just didn't give him good material. I think
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the movies themselves are just not like because he's a good actor. He's even a really good director, but
Yeah.
he's very talented.
Yeah,
But,
he is very
uh,
talented. I like a lot
But
of
like,
his other
I
stuff.
just think the movies didn't do his Batman character justice,
in the-
unfortunately. Now Robert Pattinson, he's a great actor. He has the job, but to me, he looks a bit too baby faced.
I just watched the trailer.
Yeah, we just-
I don't know though, man. I'm so excited.
Like,
I think
I'm
he
excited,
could either
but
He
way.
doesn't have the voice.
But he doesn't have the. He doesn't
Like at
have a
least
deep
from the
voice.
trailer,
Yeah.
it was too high pitched.
But
He couldn't get
I
that
feel like
deep
because
note.
the expectations
Yeah,
are
yeah.
so low that it'll end up being a better
Well,
movie.
I hope
because
so.
nobody is like because when your expectations are too high in the movie, this is what happened with the whole DC.
Mm.
Expectations were way too high. Everybody's like, "What? Why is it like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Why isn't it as good?"
I think
That
they're
is
always
true.
going to be in the shadow.
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
Marvel.
honestly, they should.
Always going to be in the shadow.
I think they just give up.
I think it's also because they
Just
got
quit.
they just
Sell
got
it to
to it
Marvel, let
first.
them
I
do
also
it.
think it's just because they got to it first. Like if DC had thought about this whole
100%,
phase
100%.
earlier, I think it would have been the other vice versa.
Even if they
I don't know,
started
man.
with the superhero movies, like you're saying, the old
Because-
Batman movies. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure those are like the
They
first one.
started, but they
just
never
didn't have a
connected.
universe. Yeah.
Exactly.
No. Batman movies always did well. Like the
The
But they
Batman,
didn't have
yeah.
a universe. That's what we're
They
saying.
didn't have a
To,
universe.
like to
But
push it
even
to the way
still,
it is
even
now.
if they didn't have the universe, like they're not doing what Marvel does with movies.
I think it's because
They're not doing what they do.
well, no, right now Marvel no, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying like
definitely not.
if
They're
they
not on
start-
the same level.
I think it's because Marvel, like they're it's like everything they do is a
They have
guaranteed success at this
creative
point. It's like
genius.
there's
Yeah,
so
with
much.
Disney.
Whereas DC, it's like
Because they've already created their
Yeah.
fan base, right?
Yeah.
it's so tough. But I
But-
mean, the new Suicide Squad is a good movie. I
Yeah.
was telling
Oh,
Kyle,
yeah.
I watched it. It's actually really good.
Oh, is it out? The new one?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I should watch it.
It's very violent. Keep that in mind. It's like 18 plus, but
I mean, that's what I'm going for
Yeah.
with Suicide
Yeah.
Squad.
it's a very good movie. It's not like the best movie.
But it's
It's a
very
fun movie. It's a
improvement.
very
Yeah.
It's a good improvement compared to what
Oh, yeah.
movies DC makes.
oh yeah
To be fair though, DC beat Marvel to making shows.
yeah.
So they
Yes.
actually started making
Well,
shows
TV
with
shows. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
that
so
this is actually
Arrow,
better than
Flash,
Yeah.
Those did all really well.
Gotham,
I feel like.
Supergirl. I mean, those are new, but like Arrow, Flash, those are old.
Didn't-
Smallville was
Yes.
old
Yeah, I
it was.
remember that.
You guys remember
Yeah.
Smallville? I loved Smallville. I watched
I
like
never watched it, but I know
7
it.
seasons of it.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Arrow too. I watched. So
He
much
should
of it.
be
Yeah.
the actual Superman.
Yes,
Smallville.
yes and no, man. If I hear him, what was that? What was his girlfriend's name in the first season? Lana or something.
I don't
But he said it in the most annoying
Yeah.
way. Lana. It was,
But he played it really well.
the Lex Luthor in
That's
that
funny.
show
Yeah,
was
Lex
so
Luthor
good.
was
That's so. At least
insane.
I thought so. Maybe
I
my,
never-
my memory
Never
betrays me.
know.
I never watched
I
it, so I've
watched
heard of
it
it,
at
never
like
watched it.
random times. It would always just appear on.
It's old.
Smallville? Yeah.
You guys say
It's
Lex
still-
Luthor? I remember of a Social Network. What's the guy's main actors?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah,
wasn't he, Lex
he was.
Luthor in
Yeah,
some
he
movie?
was. He was in the Batman.
Was it the new one?
It was Batman versus Superman, I think.
Yeah.
I
Remember,
just
he
remember
brought back
him.
that thing, and then I think Superman and Batman worked together to defeat it. What was its name? Shoot.
It's just it was
The
one of the
Doomsday?
new ones because
Yeah,
I just
Doomsday.
remember I'm like, this is not Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Like it was just so it's just such a bizarre. Like
Yeah.
sometimes actors they're casted as something where
Yeah.
you're just like,
you're like, why are you here?
why exactly?
Like
why
the
are you
Jared
here?
Leto Joker.
Yeah.
Bro, literally
Poor guy.
took
Yeah, it
a,
was
a
rough.
decent movie and ruined it. I
Yeah.
couldn't. Oh, such a cringy Joker. It's like, I don't know who they were.
Gangster
Who were you
Joker.
trying to
Yeah.
appeal to? No, he wasn't
Yeah.
even playing the gangster
It's
Joker.
edgy
I
type
feel
of
like if I
Joker.
saw this Joker, I wouldn't be
I don't
like
think
I
he
wouldn't be
committed to the
intimidated.
role enough.
The Gen Z Joker.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you know those
TikTok.
guys.
Yeah,
TikTok Joker.
He just films TikToks.
That's
He
so
did
true.
that.
That's- you know,
He was ahead of his time.
bro, he's like the guys that you see in high school. They're all like they really want to convince you that they're a psycho, that they're dangerous and that. But the moment a fight starts, they start crying. That's
Yes. Yes.
literally, it's so extra. He's like Harley Quinn. It's like
Yeah.
you can't have the Joker act like Harley Quinn.
Mm.
Like,
But I think also it was so unfortunate that he came after Heath Ledger, right?
Yeah.
Who was like who set the bar
He's-
like
that
like,
is
he
true.
set
yeah.
it way too high.
Oh
It's
man,
the same thing like we were saying with movie when the expectations are
Yeah.
way too high. When you're coming after Heath Ledger,
that is true.
What
That
a
is true.
what a good man.
Very-
That I think that
very
was the
amazing
first super movie where I watched it and I was like, this is
quality.
Yeah.
like it's a quality movie. You know, a lot of
Christopher
'cause
Yeah.
Nolan.
a lot of people
Yeah.
don't like superhero movies. I know what's his name. That Italian Martin Scorsese. He always
Yeah.
talks crap
Oh,
about.
he hates Marvel.
He hates them. Yeah, he's like they're not real
hates-
cinema and stuff.
Like, they're
You look
taking
at
the
that
money in the
movie,
industry.
that is cinema.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there's that scene where Harvey Dent's and the on the hospital bed, and then Joker there takes off his mask and he's like, ah, as
Okay,
if he
that
did-
was-
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
still like but apart from that, such a good movie.
like it's
oh my
such
God.
a powerful movie
Such a-
too.
I feel like
you
it's
want-
insane.
hard to play the Joker though, because aren't like most of them go like somewhat insane.
I think it's
like
like,
their
there's such
actual like character of like themselves actually changes in real life afterwards.
Heath Ledger stayed in a hotel room for a straight month.
Oh,
and just
well,
didn't do
he-
it.
yeah.
And Jared Leto,
Well,
He
he
said
said in the
again-
new one
he
though,
said rap
was
to people.
Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix
oh,
also
yeah.
stayed in a. They perfect the laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfecting the laugh was like I was just remember
Yeah.
it was. He
That's what I'm
was like
saying.
what 2.5 months to 3 months he was there just to like figure out how do I perfect the Joker laugh, because the Heath Ledger laugh was like it was pretty
Yeah.
like iconic
yeah.
as compared
was.
to other ones because
Yeah.
it was around for quite some
oh
time.
yeah,
it
I
was.
feel like it was his catchphrase that was the more iconic. Like the laugh was okay, but it's just like the why so serious.
Everything about it.
But-
Like you remember when he was like, "Do you want to see a magic trick?" And he put the pen and
Oh, yeah.
stabbed the guy. Ta-da! It's everything
was so,
about
like,
that
yeah.
character. And then he was like threatening about like, "Do you know how I got these scars?"
Yeah, and he gave a different story every time, which
Yeah.
made him
So
seem even more
good.
insane. But no, sorry, go ahead.
What's his name? The new Joker, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
He did a really good job. It was just a different Joker. I think it was,
It
very
was-
good.
yeah,
It
it
wasn't
was
supposed
a
to be
younger
such a
Joker.
good job. Yeah,
But
But
yeah.
they're making a goddamn sequel. It was supposed to be a standalone movie. It was such a perfect
it made
standalone.
so much.
Yeah.
But
Did
they
it make
made
$1
so much
billion?
money, so now they're making.
Are
more
they
money.
making another
So
one?
they just announced that they're making the second one, which is a marketing.
What is it
movie.
going to
Oh,
be?
man.
What,
So
what are
Marcus
they
is-
going to do? Like,
Well,
where are they going to go
That's
with
the
it?
thing, because this is not a superhero.
Yeah,
Joker.
that's
It was
the
such
thing.
like the movie Logan. Logan,
Yeah,
what it
such
was.
a Yeah, good
movie,
It's
but
such a. It's more of a movie. It's not a superhero
It's
type
like a
of.
drama
No,
movie
yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Exactly.
it was a
It's
standalone.
kind of
It
like
happens to be on a superhero's life.
it's I don't know if you guys watch Birdman.
Oh, yes.
I've heard a lot
Yes.
about that.
Birdman.
Yeah.
So Birdman
Is
is
also the same thing.
they always elude the idea that the main character was playing a superhero or was an actual superhero playing a superhero,
Oh.
like playing himself in a movie. but the whole movie's not about being a superhero. It's just that theme is always there.
yeah.
But then I feel like that's the same thing with Joker, where it's all psychological, it's all like mental, it's
Yeah.
all about the character development.
Yeah,
It's all about what the character goes
but
through.
it's the Joker from Batman.
But you know,
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
the movie, you know
Yeah.
the whole
Thing
like
was
this
from
is
there.
the Joker. It's like
Mhm.
you know the ending before.
yeah,
He was
ending
inspired. The
happens.
Joker was inspired by Taxi Driver. I don't know if anybody's
Yeah.
watched the 1970s.
yeah. Apparently, it's very
It's
similar.
from Martin
It's from
Scorsese.
Scorsese's movie.
And there's another one, King of Comedy, I believe.
Maybe
It's also a very old movie.
yeah.
These are the two movies I didn't know that they were, but like these are
Was it-
apparently what inspired.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Driver.
apparently, like there's some scenes that are very, very similar. I know what's his name. One of our friends who loves Scorsese always.
Yeah,
I think
oh
he
my
said
God,
this
he
fact like 8
literally
times
loves
to me. Every single time any of this is mentioned up, he's like, "By the way, did I tell you this fact?" And it's like, "Yes."
Yes,
Told me 8
yes.
times. All right, I'll tell you one more time.
He's the one who actually told me about the
Yeah.
Taxi Driver thing because it was a Martin Scorsese movie. But I
Yeah.
feel like Martin Scorsese, like I don't know, it comes down to like I don't know because we were talking about like Dark Knight. That's Christopher Nolan, right? That's
Yeah.
one type of director. Then you have Martin Scorsese. I feel like both of these people, they're just so different, but both so amazing at
Mm.
the type of
In their own thing,
Movies
yeah,
that
because
they
it's
make.
like I feel
Yeah.
like they deliver different like I don't know.
Emotion
It's like
and
yeah,
messages.
yeah, yeah.
experiences
Yeah.
in a way.
Have you ever heard of a movie not Taxi Driver? A Taxi Driver.
no.
It's a Korean movie. It was made I think like 2014, 2015.
You've tried to get me to watch this like 10 times.
I'm telling you. So recently, like
Is it
Parasite.
a comedy?
No. Well, I mean, it's Korean movies are weird. They have a bit of everything.
Is it like Parasite in a way?
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
love that stuff.
You watched Parasite,
I'm
right?
hooked. Such a good movie.
I watched both,
Such a good
and I'd
movie.
say
Won an Oscar for me.
I'd say A Taxi Driver is better than Parasite because
Oh.
only because
Is
it's
it a recent movie?
It's based. It's relatively
Okay.
recent. It's like
Yeah.
in after 2010. I think it's 2012, 2016, sometime then. But it's based on a true story in 1970s, 1980s. So South Korea at that point was going
Yes.
through like a whole revolution thing, and there was a whole like I'm not gonna say too much, but it revolves around a taxi driver that's in Seoul or Seoul, sorry. And a German reporter needs to get into the city that's cornered off by the military because people were protesting there. And it's based on a true story. I think they stretched it for like drama and that, but all the big events are true. And even at
Oh,
the end,
really?
you get to see an interview with the German reporter. Like,
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
I mean, like
Ah.
spoilers, he survives, but like it's history. But it's such a good movie, and I feel like these movies they never get any recognition from like of course because it's not Hollywood and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but the acting is insane.
Mhm.
The emotions that you feel insane. It's hard to put it in one genre because you were asking because sometimes it is a comedy movie
Mm.
and the other times you're actually like terrified even though it's not a horror movie, but it's so realistic and like they do a really good job of putting you right there with the characters.
Mhm.
Like the angles sometimes are very very intimate, sometimes they're very like it's a landscape, very like I don't know
Distant.
I don't know what the word is, but like very pretty, even though like it's you can clearly tell it's a lower budget movie, not too
Mhm.
high.
I
Yeah.
know the director for Parasite, when he won the Oscar, he was giving the speech and he said that if you can overcome that like 2-inch barrier of subtitles on your screen, you'll be exposed to a whole new world of theater. And it's actually so
yeah,
true.
that is true.
Like
Yeah.
Parasite, I remember I was thinking this movie's probably overhyped, you
Yeah.
know, whatever. Just because it's a foreign film, it's probably gonna get a lot of attention. I watched that movie. Oh my god, that
It's
was
amazing.
so good. It's like a dark comedy. So there's some parts where you laugh, but there's other parts where
You're just like
you feel like you should
wow.
laugh, but it's like, should I laugh? Like it's so dark, but it's meant to be such a. It's so good. You're
Very
on your toes the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
have you all seen the movie?
Yeah.
No.
Some parts of it were
You haven't seen
terrifying.
it?
I haven't
I'm not
seen
gonna
it.
say anything.
Yeah, don't
It's-
say- yeah.
You have to watch. You actually have to watch. And then there's
Okay.
another
Very
movie.
creative. Very creative.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I look and it's such a. It's not easy. It's such a good movie, and one end it doesn't. I feel like I've heard stories like this, but at the same time, it's never been. I don't know anything like that, and it's never been explored. I've never seen it explored this way. Another movie, I think I've maybe mentioned this to you guys. It's a Bollywood movie. It's called And Had Hun. I
And
believe
Had Hun.
And Had Hun. Yeah, it's like one word. It's very similar to Parasite in that it's a dark comedy where it's just you want to laugh, but the same you're stressed. It's like this guy. I believe the plot is that he fakes being blind, and then he gets involved with a whole other thing. You have to watch this movie. It's one of the considered to be one of like the best Bollywood movies of all time. It
not
is-
not
it-
the best.
Not
No, no,
the
no.
best.
There's
I
a
have to
better
tell you
one.
something after. Sorry, go ahead.
But it's not one of those where like, you know, a guy will like run sideways on a bus, you know what I mean, and like flip. It's realistic, but at the same time, it's
Are you trying to say they're bad?
no, it's different style.
Just
They're,
such
they're
a-
very entertaining
Have you
movies.
seen
Yeah.
the scene where they were throwing catapult, but the actual like balls were just guys in their shields.
Oh, I saw that. Oh my god.
Man, Bollywood movies are amazing at what they do.
I watched that whole movie, bro. When I tell you that scene wasn't even the most over the top scene, like after they invaded the city, like that they were trying to get to, man, the fight scenes. It's like real life anime. That's what we were saying the other day.
Yeah.
Bollywood movies are real life anime. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
So good,
because
man.
I feel it's just that they're just so extra with it.
Yeah,
It's like the guy looks at a train, the train does 10 backflips. I'm like, I'm just like sitting there. I'm just like,
Why is this happening?
like physics just went through the door. Like,
I
out of the door,
love that stuff.
how?
Man, there was one where this guy was riding a horse and he needed to get through an intersection, but then there was this truck, so like he slid under the truck with the horse. But then you could tell it was just a horse dummy, so it just went under, and the horse was just flat, like it was like static, not moving, and it just slid under the thing on its side.
Is it just like
Nice.
okay? Is this a budget thing or like how do you think you can get away with this? You know what I mean?
Man,
Like,
I feel
what?
like
Just the style of
They
it.
think it's a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like they really, I feel like they really grabbed the word movie and technically be like, it's fake, so let's utilize what we could
How
do.
fake we can make it.
How
Yeah.
fake
But
we can
it's
make
fun though. I love
100%.
it.
I feel like each country that produces a lot of media has their own style. I feel like
Have you
Korea literally mixes all the genres in one. Like you, it's a weird way of enjoying it. And then like Bollywood, I haven't watched enough. I can't say that,
Yeah.
but like from what I've seen,
clips.
it's ridiculous most of the time. Most of the time.
Have you seen those like Chinese like kung fu movies and stuff?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
Ip
those are
Man.
those are
Wait,
a lot
what?
of-
Was Ip Man Chinese? No.
I don't know. I
Ip
think
Man
it was
is, I
collab.
think.
It's probably a
yeah.
collab.
Yeah, it is because I remember there was one of the movies where the Japanese invaded, so it is a Chinese movie.
You
Yeah.
know in this.
Because I watched, it was like such a good movie. The choreography and the fight scenes,
Yes.
it's so good. There was one, I don't know which movie. It's
In
the one where
kitchen,
the
they're
Japanese.
fighting. Pew, pew, pew. I don't know.
But some stuff is fake. You know, it's like a guy gets hit and he goes and they just show you his feet and he just and he stands still. It's like, what did you just do? You can't do that with your leg. He literally, he flips, he lands on his ankle and you can't do that. But it's so much fun. But and also
I feel like we
the
need to
hits-
explain what the is to our listeners.
it's just. Like,
I don't know.
can't explain it.
The
Just
Mike
watch
Tyson
those kung fu
episode
movies.
was the fourth.
Yeah, that was
Ip
one of them. Yeah,
Man movie was.
he was fighting. It
Man,
was
how
like
many of
boxing
these are
against-
these?
There's four of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's four, but it's just the fourth one. It's like they were introducing boxing, which is
Yeah.
all power,
Yeah.
to kung fu, which was Ip Man. It was just like, it was just so
So good,
intense.
yeah.
One of the scenes, like
And the thing is, the way they do the fight scenes is that every strike just feels like it has so much weight behind. That's
Yeah.
why they're so good. I mean, they get crazy as they go, but they're
Okay.
all good. But then you also get movies like Kung Fu Hustle. Have you seen those?
Kung Fu
I
Hustle.
mean, people are literally flying like. Sorry,
Wait, are you talking about the one where they were playing?
Don't do a lot of sound effects.
Wait,
I
this
don't
is
know.
the one
Flying
where they were
kicks.
playing soccer.
Oh, that's
That's-
Shaolin Soccer.
Shaolin
That's another
Soccer.
example.
I
So good.
love
That was-
Shaolin Soccer.
I
Have
remember
you
like
guys ever watched Shaolin Soccer?
Shaolin, so I've seen parts of it. It's
So
the same
good.
thing. It's just they
It's-
play. Imagine a bunch of monks playing soccer, but like they're doing kung fu in the middle of
they
it.
Hands
jump in
down.
the air, flip like 8
What?
times and kick, and it just flies like a rocket.
dramatic.
It's literally an anime
it's so
movie. It's like-
impressive.
Imagine Kuroko no Basket on
Yeah.
steroids, but it's real people. It's real life.
I want to watch the movie again.
It's real
That was
life.
so good.
I
man.
would 100%. I'd watch Shaolin. Shaolin Soccer is one of those movies that's just like I watched it so many times in my childhood.
Yeah.
There's that one scene where he stole a dumpling from this lady selling dumplings.
I don't remember that, but I
It's stuck. It's in my head, and I can't forget it for some reason. He just stole a dumpling. That's the whole scene. I mean, there was more to the scene. He was talking to her, but
Was it like funny or was it just
the dumplings looked so good
because the movie was good? I
It
thought
looked
like
so chewy and nice.
I'm trying to think of like other ones, like other movies that are very memorable that weren't like made
like
they
foreign
were-
movies.
Yeah, they're like more foreign movies that were
Mm.
more. For
I
me,
don't-
one, Spirited Away, but that is a movie.
Oh
but
yeah,
that's
those are
very,
good. Spirited Away. There's the
Oh,
other
I mean,
one as well.
Box Office of
if-
Japan.
From the same studio.
If we're gonna talk about Studio Ghibli, though, that's
Yeah.
Or just I mean in general. No. I just mean like
Man,
in general
he's so
movies.
good.
There was one movie from them. I don't remember. There was a guy who was carrying
Oh, sorry.
something that was injured. Then someone came with like a blunderbuss and shot him, and he had a hole in his chest, and he kept walking
What?
and shot him again, and there was 2 holes.
Oh, that's Princess Mononoke.
Man, I'm pretty sure I still remember that exactly scene for scene how that was, and I watched the movie like
How long
15 years ago.
You have,
Probably.
you have good taste. That's the
Like,
best one in my opinion.
I was a kid. I was like, I didn't expect this guy had a hole in his chest, and he's walking.
But out of the whole movie, that's what traumatized you?
That's
Did
what I
you not
remember.
did you not see the forest spirit?
Wait, what's the forest spirit? Is that the big black thing with the
Like,
white?
the deer with the human face? That thing was
No,
messed
you're
up.
talking about another. You're talking about
I'm
Spirited
mixing,
Away.
I'm, okay, I'm
Yeah.
mixing them both up.
He's
I know
talking
those
about the ending of the other one.
those all movies. It's like one big movie in my brain. I don't know. I just remember
Well, they all
scenes.
are all in the same
I
like,
remember there
type
was-
of category.
There was one
type
with like
thing.
a really old grandma who had a big head.
Oh, that's the Spirit Away.
Yeah.
Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Okay, she also creeped me out for some reason. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
why.
her
All
nose.
these movies, I feel like, as a
Her like
kid when you
wrinkles
watched-
were so.
The art style's so
Yeah,
nice.
that's the thing.
It's
It's
so
so good.
pretty. It's so pretty.
it throws me out of this side. I'm like, dude, it takes me to like I remember like Shrek and Nemo.
Oh
I
my
don't know,
god!
I know
so
it's,
good.
it's not, but it's the same of now that we're talking about like cartoonish. I feel like those two as a child.
Shrek is love.
Shrek is so
Life.
Shrek is iconic. You remember Ice Age?
Ice Age.
Oh, so good. I
They
used
made
to love
15
it.
out of them.
I know.
With the guy
They
literally,
really milked
yeah,
the hell out of that
yeah,
series.
man.
And
It
it
was
kept,
good.
do you guys remember the beginning of Ice Age where
The-
it's
the
always
acorn?
the acorn when he
Yeah.
puts in, and it kept getting more dramatic.
Yeah.
Like
Yo.
once it was
Yeah.
just a little thing, and then
Yeah.
like
He
it-
literally caused the end of the Ice Age
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
for the nut.
there's a space one too. Afterwards,
Yeah.
and it was there a space one?
Yeah,
One of the,
there
like,
is.
the 15th
They had.
version
It's
movie.
not like an actual like movie. I think it was just like a segment thing. on the side.
Did they actually? I know you're exaggerating by 15. Did
But
they
I think
make?
it's-
No, it's not actually.
Did
It's
they
not
make?
15,
Did
too
they
many.
make 4? I remember 4. So the last one, Continental Drift.
Yeah.
4.
I
That's the
don't
last one I
remember.
remember.
It's a lot.
I
I
think
stopped
there's-
watching after 2.
They had a lot of sub series with it too. Though.
I think I watched 2 or 3.
yeah.
My little brother was so obsessed with Ice Age. He always went through a phase for a straight month. He'd watch the same movie every day. And Ice
Nice.
Age Continental Drift was one of them. So
Really?
I watched that movie so many times. So many times.
What about Madagascar?
Madagascar.
Madagascar-
Classic.
good.
Oh
Iconic.
yeah. Freaking love
The hippo.
And then
Yo,
the penguin. What's his name?
Oh,
And
they had a
the,
series, the
Oh,
Penguins,
yeah.
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 Oh,
and,
I forgot their
and then they had that song.
I like the movie.
I used to love that song.
the movie.
I remember I used to
Yeah.
because I had that on like the big cassette. I don't know what you call those
VHS.
friggin' VHS. Yeah, I used to plug it in and I would go to the end just for the music and I would dance with my brother at the TV. It was really weird, but
Man.
like it was so good.
The best song, unpopular opinion, but the best song from Madagascar series is in Madagascar 2, which is the Moto Moto song.
I don't remember. I don't remember anything
remember
about
it.
the second.
Bro,
one.
did you know that song was made by Will I Am, like William
No, I
from
had no idea.
Like,
You told this to me.
and Pharrell was on it, like Pharrell Williams.
Moto
Yeah.
Moto song
He,
with the
he
hippo.
produced it, I
Really?
think, and
Serious?
had like a, but he didn't even put his name on it, bro. It's so good. Just recently, I got it on my phone because I'm like, no way did someone actually make this song, and it's a full on song. They only use a part of it, but it's a full on song.
I'm trying to remember. There were so many. There was even somebody else you were telling me. Even the Madagascar. Madagascar had a bunch of tracks.
Oh,
A
tracks,
bunch
yeah.
of really good
There's
tracks,
a lot
but
of
even movies
famous
as well.
people as
A lot
well.
of famous
Oh, yes.
people in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many famous.
Did they have like a half? Madagascar 1.5, or was that Lion King?
Lion King.
Lion King
Yeah,
1.5.
Lion King. Yeah.
And the Lion King was 1.5.
I don't know if it was 1.5. I think it was 2.5.
Okay, it was a half somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Lion King 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a 3.
No one, because they went straight to TV. No one actually
Oh,
watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay. I have a question for you guys. What was your favorite childhood movie?
That's tough. You can't.
Childhood
Yeah.
movie,
No, like
cartoon?
animated. Animated.
Oh,
We'll-
animated.
We'll stay animated. I'll tell you mine to give you
Yeah.
some. I
Don't
know,
tell me something
ideas.
like Shark Tale.
Over the Hedge.
I love that movie. Oh my
Put it
god.
right here.
That was
Such
so
a
good.
clown
Such a good movie. It was so
So
good.
good.
Had the
It's
video
so
game,
good, dude.
Bro,
It was
the
so good.
chips, the chips looked so good in them.
I know.
It's like 3D.
Bro, I
That
sound
is
so
true.
fat right now. I keep remembering the
Insane.
food scenes.
You guys remember Open Season?
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 of those as
I
well.
used to
I
have that
forgot
game as
that
well. I used to
existed.
hold the hunters and just throw them off cliffs. It was so fun.
Man,
I don't know why. But it was so
there
good.
are so many.
There's a
dude.
lot. That's the thing.
There is so many.
Oh,
I can't
hold on,
even
hold on.
like remember some
Favorites.
stuff that I'm like, I have no idea.
My
Okay,
favorite
can,
one.
can we
though.
do top 3?
Yeah,
Top 3.
Top
Well, if
3.
you have
Okay.
honorable mentions, just
Honor-
like
yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah,
just trying to
honorable
think of
mentions,
some.
yeah.
Okay, honorable mentions. I'd put Tarzan. Love Tarzan. I
Ooh, I
love
forgot about Tarzan.
Yeah.
that was a
Um,
violent ending. It was very dark. I remember
but
when
I
he
Yeah.
fell
loved it.
down and
And-
hung himself, and it was just
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. But also the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Phil Collins literally went in and dropped.
yeah,
Like
one
so
of the
many
best
bangers.
albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. I don't know if you guys remember. You weren't there for it, but in high school, were you in my English class? I did my summative on it,
Yes.
and everyone made fun of me. But it was actually a really good
Yes.
song. It was made by Phil Collins, like one of the biggest like stars out there. But nobody knew that he made it. So they're like, "Yo, you like." They started laughing like you put a
Tarzan
Tarzan
movie,
song on.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, the music video is from Tarzan, but it's a Phil Collins song. Okay, Tarzan, and then Treasure Island.
Oh my god!
That's true.
George, yes,
Island.
you know it wasn't known, but it's so good.
I had
It's so
I
good.
found out about that from the game. I had the game, then I was like, oh, this is a movie. Let me check it out. Oh my god! holy
What
crap.
was it? Mine is pretty generic, but I really watched like Toy Story 1 a lot. I watched Toy Story
Wow.
1 like
One.
so much.
Hmm.
Like I feel like as a child, and I don't even know why. I feel like Toy Story 1 has to be for me up there
Hmm.
as one that's like super,
I haven't-
super memorable.
Is that honorable mention or your favorite?
I think it'll be my favorite.
Your favorite? What are
I-
honorable mentions?
Like I don't know. I liked Kung Fu Panda, but I was a little bit older though. I wasn't that.
I wouldn't count.
I really like that,
actually,
but-
you could.
I have an honorable mention. It's not a movie, but Looney Tunes.
Oh my
That's-
god.
that's
Okay,
pretty
that's so
big, though.
good.
That's like-
That's so good.
The Space Jam count as one.
Yes.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
That's a
Space
movie.
Jam one was also
Yeah.
pretty.
That was, and was that
I
like
watched the
that was
second
probably
one.
the first major cartoon and
Yeah.
real life
Yeah.
collab.
To be fair,
collab.
they did pretty good
Yeah,
for
they
the
did.
time.
It was really good, man.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Freaking Space
Yeah.
Jam was
Oh,
amazing,
B movie.
Yeah.
bro.
B movie.
Get.
I don't. I just remembered it. I don't think it'll still be up there. No, I just
B
remember
movie is good the same way. I mean, Shrek is actually good, but like B movie was so.
though.
Bro,
There's an ant
she
one.
was trying to have
Yeah,
sex with a bee.
ants, yeah, I remember that.
There's an animal, Bug's Life.
Yeah.
She was
No?
flirting with a bee. The bee was like, "You
Bugs
like
Life.
jazz?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bugs Life.
Bugs
He said
Life.
it.
Yes, Bug's Life.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was a good one.
Bro.
B movie came to my head because I was trying to go towards it.
No.
Bugs Life. I'm like, there's a bug.
It was
Bro.
just the obstacle of the way. Yeah,
B movie is one of those movies. It's cursed. I don't know how they let
Yeah.
it through production. It's cursed.
It was just all right. I here's the thing. Back then, I didn't have any taste. I just liked all of them. Like, you know what I
Actually,
mean?
no, I shouldn't shame you. I
Like,
shouldn't shame
liked
you for it.
all of
Like,
them. Like any movie I would watch was like, yo, this is actually pretty
Yeah.
good.
B
Yeah.
movie, was that the one that's like you like jazz?
it
or
is.
whatever
It is. It's the one with all the
yeah.
bees. Yes.
Do you guys ever watch that movie Robots or Robot?
Yeah.
Whatever it is?
Robot.
The one with
Underrated
where the
movie.
meme comes with like
Yeah.
upgrades.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was-
His dad was a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And then there was like a big fat, like a blob working. He was like the CEO of the robot company. You've definitely seen it.
It's
100%.
It's not
one
ringing
of
a bell.
those that you
It
have
is-
to.
you have to go back.
way
unlock
back in
It's
there.
one of those like redacted memories.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
so underrated.
All I think of is
Yeah.
iRobots, but I know
Oh
that's
yeah, that
definitely
was
not
good.
it.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to
me,
think.
There's
I mean,
Wall-E, there's Up.
Are
Wally's
those
good.
two new though?
Oh, Wally. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
the-
got you.
That is
Wally's
my
good.
number one.
But are those two new though?
I don't care.
Honestly. Makes no sense anyway.
I feel like Wall-E was like at least like you were like 10 years old for Wall-E.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, actually,
Wally.
I
Like
need, I need
hit
to
the
know when
spot.
Wally came out. Hold on.
Oh, we don't have the iPad or anything, eh?
Yeah.
I think 2014. I'm gonna guess. I have
No,
idea.
it's way
no.
older than
It's
that.
way older. I'm pretty sure you were
Yeah.
like 10 or 12 when I came out.
Okay,
Like,
never mind.
yeah.
Okay, then maybe 2009.
It's 2008, same year as Iron Man. Man, that was a
Oh,
blessed year. We
yeah.
got Iron Man and one?
Really?
Yeah.
There was another one that they made after Hero 6, but that came way
Oh
after.
my god, Big Hero 6.
No,
I never watched
it
that.
came
What about
out-
I'm
It's
not
so
saying
good.
it is. It
It's
just
so
came way
good.
back
What
after. It's
about
very good.
How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh
that's
yeah,
okay.
those
Is
are
that
good.
too new?
I think too new. I'm
that's
being
good
I'm
movie.
being too much of a.
There's
I'm
a
being too
s-
strict on this. I think we can just
We
leave
can
it
go
at-
The girl
older.
who was in Hawaii, Snitch.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Thank you. I remember cards.
family.
That's so good. No, that I used to love that shit. Oh my god.
That's it.
Oh, Emperor's New Groove.
Okay, that's
Yes.
that's my 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that.
Cusco.
Pull the lever, wrong lever. So good, man. So
Man,
good.
oh,
that was
This is going
iconic.
to. I like
living memory
Moana too.
lane.
What was the girl?
Moana,
I
it's
never
too new.
watched that.
It's Moana.
No,
No,
not
Moana's too-
Moana. Sorry, it's the girl. It's the girl who was in
Mulan.
Okay,
I
that was
love
actually
Mulan.
really good.
I love.
I haven't
Mulan.
watched the movie, but Mulan, the cartoon, is something that is pretty
Mulan
memorable
is
for
definitely
me.
one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
You know who up there is Little Mermaid. As a kid
Oh
growing
my
up,
god, yeah.
I fucking loved
I feel like I
that
had a
movie.
crush on them.
To be
I
honest-
had to crush on the girl,
Probably
and
had
that's
a
why.
crush. Yeah, like, it's my
To
first
be
feeling
honest,
was like,
I didn't like the Little Mermaid.
I don't even remember. I just
I
remember.
only
like
watched
that.
it because
Yeah.
of the girl.
Did you guys watch 101 Dalmatians, the Dalmatian
Yes.
movie? Cruella, I used to be so afraid of her. My God, I used to get nightmares. She was such a terrifying old bony lady. It was just looked like a skeleton, friggin' Skeletor walk. Oh, also that reminded me, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know if you guys have you
yeah.
seen that with
Yes.
Jack? What's his name? Jack Skellington.
Jack
So
Skellington,
good.
yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Coraline.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, I watched that
Coraline.
recently.
I watched Coraline
Yeah.
the first time.
I showed them Coraline. Bro,
Yeah.
I watched Coraline
so
so,
good.
many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
so
it's
many.
really, really
Coraline is a masterpiece. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's a
Too
10
much
out of 10
work,
for me.
dude. Too much effort, bro.
Stop
Lot of
motion. Stop motion. What's the new one?
Just
Kubo.
to make that.
The new one from the same studio, Kubo, is way more like impressive in terms of the animations, but no way does it come close to.
The plot or
to-
storyline.
It's just.
That was such a good movie.
It's
Yeah.
it's so special, man.
I watched that like within the last year. Sorry for interrupting, because
Yeah.
I never watched. Joyce was like, "Excuse me." You have to watch
You
it.
watched it at the same time because he also it was the last year that I watched.
Yeah, it was just
was
this
very
summer
good.
actually that I showed you Coraline. It was very
Such
recent.
a
Yeah.
memory day because there's so many movies like the Notre Dame Hunch of.
Oh, Hunch.
Oh, that was also scary. The
Oh.
villain in that movie terrified
What
me.
about
I mean, I'm scared of everything. Oh my god, the
Despicable
cartoon.
Me?
So,
Is that too new?
wait, which one?
Despicable Me?
I count it as too new.
Too new?
Despicable
Too
Me
new,
is
but
the
it's
I
newer
just like
generation.
the Minions.
You know
Bro,
what I
stop.
like? You know what that movie?
Banana?
You guys
Or
are
Incredibles.
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 Oh,
really
yeah,
good.
Incredibles,
Yeah.
yeah.
How did we
Incredibles
forget
was
about that? That
Incredibles.
second
Yeah.
one when it came out, it was huge.
There's so
Um,
many cartoons that you feel like you watch, but when you
Yeah.
see, it, you're like, dude,
Yeah.
I forgot this wasn't even in my
We were
brain.
blessed.
Remembering
We
this.
were- we
blessed.
really were. We had a really good childhood.
Really like.
There are pretty good ones now, but I don't know.
like
They're all
like
remakes.
Brave
It doesn't
and-
come close, man. You can't
don't
see
know.
someone hang himself
It's a
by the end.
Frozen, like,
Like
bro,
Hotel
imagine growing up
Transylvania?
on Frozen.
It's not this doesn't,
Yeah, that's
doesn't hit
true,
the
true.
same.
Hotel
they're
Transylvania.
definitely- Yeah, I never
Yeah.
watched it, but
I haven't
I'm
watched it
assuming.
either.
I'm just
Nah,
biased.
It doesn't hit the same.
No,
In movies
Alright.
back then, I was watching an older movie the other day, and I realized that apart from the visuals and stuff, the filming style, everything is so different. It looks
Yeah.
so old.
Yeah.
Like I was watching, I think Spider-Man. I was watching the
Yeah.
first one. I saw my brothers in. He just looked at something, and the camera zoomed into just his eyes, and I'm like, you don't see those shots. Like
It's a lot more dramatic.
that's the thing. It's,
yeah,
in movies nowadays, on top of the technology and stuff, just the way they film has changed so much, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
They
Things
take it more. I feel like it's more realistic, like George is saying,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
compared
Like
to
back then, I
before.
feel like it's maybe more jarring in a way. Like now, it's more just
I'm trying to think. Oh,
I don't know. Maybe it's more stable in a way, so it's easier to see things. But
Yeah.
But it's also like you said, so much more different. So
Yeah.
much.
You guys remember Home Alone?
oh, those man,
Yes.
so good,
So special.
Yeah.
so good, man. That's one movie. Even if I saw it to this day, it's like
I'd
still
sit through
good.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
although when I was young, even though I'm like I think these guys should be dead by now,
Yeah.
but I'll let it pass. Like,
Every time
such
I
a
watched
good
that
movie.
movie, I was like, okay, creative. I am going to make traps and
Yeah, I
doorways
know.
and windows for any intruder.
Yeah.
Little
What
did I know
was-
I was in an apartment building.
What was that movie where they shot the whole movie in one take?
1917. Sorry.
No, but there was one. No. Oh
There
no,
was
no,
a war
no, no,
movie.
sorry,
It was filmed in
never
one
mind.
thing.
Yeah, no. I was thinking of the one where they shot it as if it's on a recorder. There was a bunch like that,
Oh, like
but there's the one where the guy gets
Blair Witch
superpowers.
Project. Oh
No,
no.
The guy gets superpowers, and his friends were like,
starts with an O, I think.
I have no idea.
and he had like
Zero clue.
and that whole meme was like, what's his name? Like, stop doing that. And
Chronicle.
Chronicles.
No,
That's what
I never
Chronicle,
watched it.
yeah.
I just know it's
It's
them
pretty
because
good.
I've
It's
wanted
pretty
to
good.
watch it for a
Yeah.
while.
This reminds me of a really old movie that I really like. Is Mrs. Doubtfire.
I never watched it with Robin Williams. Never watched it.
Robin Williams or like Jumanji.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jumanji, yeah.
Jumanji,
Oh,
the
Jumanji.
original.
Okay,
the
That
original.
movie also
Yeah.
scared me.
Okay, it
Yeah,
scared
yeah.
me too.
Yeah,
Okay.
terrified.
I'm
What,
glad it's not-
Jumanji?
Yeah, the first
Jumanji
one.
did
Yeah.
like, especially when they went in the game for the first time. Like, dude,
It's
What is it?
the old one's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. Oh, what's
there's
that?
so many movies now. When you go back and watch it, they make such sexual jokes.
100%.
Yeah.
So even like Disney, like
Disney.
movies.
I
Yeah.
think it's for parents when they take their kids, they have some sort of like.
Bro,
what are the parents
Shrek.
watching?
Shrek
Yeah.
has so
But
many.
even
Yeah.
Robots that we talked
Doesn't
about, that movie has
Tarzan's
so many.
have a lot?
Yeah.
No way.
That's when I saw it recently because someone was posting on Twitter about like the scene from the movie, and then it was like a thread of all these, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's so weird
You're
how you
such
just
an
miss that.
innocent
You're
mind.
so
How did they
innocent.
get away with
Yeah,
it?
You don't catch
Literally.
anything.
You don't even realize it.
Oh man, so good.
Yet your parents are there laughing their heads
But
off, and you're like,
Also, we had
laughing?
Harry Potter, man.
Harry
Those
Potter.
movies.
Harry
You know
Potter.
what?
I had so many nightmares because of those movies.
Me too, but you know
Yeah,
what scared
fair
me?
enof.
If you think Harry Potter, there's dragons, there's
Spiders.
Dementors,
Spiders.
there's
It's the
spiders,
spiders that
there's the
always
snake.
got me.
You know what scared me? Professor Snape. I could not sleep. I had a nightmare, and I still remember to this day.
Alan
He's-
Rickman did his
him
job
and his-
very well.
Oh,
him
yeah.
in his like black cloak and his like hair like this. He's falling down, and he just curses me. And I wake up. I had that nightmare, that same nightmare, like 5 times. I'm not even joking. And I refused to watch the movies.
What
after
were
the
your
long.
nightmares?
I don't know, man. It was just so. I'm telling you.
your textbook
Out to of-
page 394.
Yeah, George in his dream. He just looks so scary, man. He's just so intimidating. Every way he looks at you with his eyes and his black hair, black coat, that was terrifying. And then Lord of the Rings, the orcs scared me. Oh, the Lord of the
I
Rings.
love Lord of the
That
I
Rings.
think
was what I
my
was
favorite
I couldn't
trilogy
bring
of all
myself to
times.
watch them.
Gandalf
My
dying.
favorite movies
Yeah,
of all
same thing
time.
with Star Wars. I couldn't
Man,
watch Star Wars.
Wait,
either.
it's different.
Before we go,
I'm a fan
him
of Lord of the
talking
Rings.
about nightmares. Gandalf,
Yeah.
you know him dying. Did you watch it? I don't know if you've never
Oh, yeah,
watched it, but the scene
the-
where he
watch it.
dies.
Yeah.
My dad was watching this, and I walked into him watching that scene where Gandalf. I'm telling you, for
Because
5
there's a huge
years,
demon.
for 5 years, that was in my head because I was too much of a kid, and I was just like,
Endless
that guy who got like fucked by this big
demon,
demon,
yeah.
who just killed him. The poor man
Balrog.
died.
Yeah,
And then, like, afterwards, he was crying too. I was literally like, that scene. I had nightmares for
traumatizing.
5 years. Till then I watched the movie. I'm like, okay,
It's
comes
not
back.
bad,
But
yeah.
Lord of the Rings like shouldn't be. It's not for kids. I mean, I was
No.
gonna say shouldn't be,
No, I
but
just
it
walked
is.
in.
It isn't
That's
for
the
kids.
thing.
Yeah,
I walked in and I
Such
saw
a
that.
good
because like I don't know. For me, like Smeagol's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
There was one
Yeah.
scene where
Well, the Nazgûl
Bill-
are creepy to me as well.
Oh my god, yeah.
They have no
creatures.
face and
Yeah, and there was one
The
scene where
creatures that are there. It's like demons and
you remember the big
orcs.
spiders?
It's literally an orc.
Okay.
Imagine that's literally an orc that's just messed up.
There's our
I
orc
know.
right here.
Yeah.
Those are good.
What's
movies.
there's so many. I feel like now they've realized, hey, why do one movie? There's so much more like series of movies.
Always
and
everything
going on and
If
everything.
it does well, you expect it to have another one.
Yeah.
Every time
Yeah.
now. There's
But
no
it's
like
usually
single
fails, though.
releases.
Sometimes first movies I think are the best.
Yeah.
Like with cartoons, like Shrek 1. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I know you keep going, but
Oh,
it's just so good.
Isn't
compared to the
Shrek
other
2
ones.
considered to be the best one?
Shrek 2
Yeah.
is
Was
the
it 2?
best one.
But generally
Yeah.
speaking, yeah, it's always the first one
It's
is
just
It
so much
hits
better.
hard, yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. For me, like, I like seeing sequels sometimes, but if
You
it's
know-
like the one for the Joker you're talking about, where it's clearly just for like
Oh, yeah,
money,
marketing.
then it's
Like
gonna be
Fast and Furious.
I have
nine
never
of them now?
watched a singular Fast and Furious
15
movie.
no way.
Yeah, I've never watched a
Bro,
singular
I'm
one.
addicted to them.
Yo,
How?
I love those
I love them.
movies. Never
They're
watched
so
them.
good.
You
I
just
can't wait
sit
for
there,
Fast 9.
You just turn off your brain for like 2.5 hours and you have the best time of your life.
Yeah,
He's literally
goodness.
swinging the
You
vehicle.
just see some cars doing some insane
You're
shit.
swinging the car off a cliff.
Yeah,
But you're just
bro,
supposed to
they're
be
dri-
like, this is okay.
I
this
don't
is
remember which
totally
one.
fine.
They drove it into like a building, into another building, into the
Oh, yeah,
street.
the one in
And
Abu
it was
Dhabi.
like perfectly
So
fine. I was like,
stupid.
hey, wait, I can do this.
He crashed into the side of the bridge and flew and then caught his girlfriend
Yes.
mid-air and landed and he just
And perfectly
he's
fine.
perfectly it's Vin Diesel. He has the power of family on his side.
the power of family you're talking about. And you know how you're saying marketing?
Yeah.
And then this is it's the 9th movie, and they finally introduce his brother out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
George
Yeah.
was like, dude, John, what the hell is this whole time?
Don't turn your back on
These guys-
family.
They saved the world 10 times in these 9 movies, and this guy just shows up.
But I'll never forget in the scene where he's fighting Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Jason Statham takes a wrench, hits him on the face, and he still gets up before Jason Statham. It's like, I'm going to kill you. And the worst, but that was not the worst. But the worst part is like, they're like facing off and things are collapsing. And he's like, the thing about street fights is that the street always wins. And he stomps on the building and it collapses this way. Jason Statham falls backwards and it's like, okay, what the hell did I
So
just
broken.
watch?
So broken.
It's so good. But I'm like, I'm in theater like, this is exactly what I want to see. This is theater. This is cinema right here.
These are our Indian movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bollywood people are like, yo, this movie's just really weird. Yeah.
Bro,
They
we
did well
made-
with this.
Yeah, how can we make fun of the Bollywood movies if that actually happened?
I know, yeah, it's awful.
Man, it's
It's kind of crazy though how a lot of movies now
Mhm.
you can't make the like movies back then you can't make now. For example, one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, The Hangover. Have you guys seen that movie?
Oh.
You cannot make that movie
Pineapple
now.
Express.
Oh,
no.
But
No.
that maybe, but like
Harold and Kumar.
Superbad was probably my
Yeah.
favorite.
Harold and Kumar, you
yeah.
can't make that.
Harold and-
Superbad.
Super bad.
Oh,
I feel like Superbad is
Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very
I mean,
funny.
yeah, things
or
like
any of the American
Yeah.
Pies, really.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's scary.
American Pie.
It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy that like
Classic.
That was good. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
like if that movie came out now, are you just,
No,
you can't.
I don't think it could come out
It-
now.
I mean, I remember The Hangover. One of the jokes was what's his name?
10 people
the Asian guy. He was like, haha, it's funny because he's fat. I mean, it's like I think an
Yeah.
Al was climbing out the car and he fell down. It's like,
Man, that movie
I mean,
would
I
be
kinda
shut
laugh
down
now,
so
but it's
much.
like, if that came out, that movie's canceled because of that. But
Yeah.
oh man, it's kind of crazy how cinema has changed since then. It's just, I don't know. That's why a lot of people talk about how comedy's dead now. Do you
Oh,
do you think
compared to-
comedy's
Yeah.
dead?
Because you can't
Yeah.
offend anybody.
The,
anymore.
the only
Everybody
person who
takes
really does it
seriously.
well still is like Dave Chappelle.
I was just about to
So
say Dave
good.
Chappelle because
Yeah.
he really
Because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
if you look at the reviews for one of his last, I think came a few years ago,
Yeah.
Sticks and Stones, his comedy
Yeah, yeah,
special, had like 0% on Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But the user score was like 99%.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
so good. I friggin'
Because it's not rated.
it's not you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not user friendly. Or
Yeah.
sorry, it's
Did he
not
even
like
do it in his house? One of the things
PC.
too.
So
He
so
did
for
one,
so for COVID, he set up.
No, that
like
was
a
like Kevin
whole-
Hart.
Was it Kevin? No.
Hart. Kevin Hart's the one who did a show out of his house.
Oh,
Yeah, and that one was actually after Kevin Hart got a lot of flack too.
I don't think Dave Chappelle did a show of it, but he
No.
just had a bunch of people
I think
over and
he
did
invi-
yeah.
comedy
Yeah, I-
shows for like the comedy
I was
community.
reading. I heard this on the
Okay.
Joe Rogan
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, that's
actually.
where I heard it too.
Okay, but no, like Kevin Hart actually released it. It's on Netflix. It was okay. It wasn't that great, but
a
he-
really bad movie that you guys remember.
Literally any scary movie of all time, but they're so good, they're bad. They're so
No,
bad,
no,
they're good.
Yo, like the scary movie series,
Okay,
like Scary
yeah.
Movie 1,
They're so-
horrendous.
But here's the
they're
thing:
so
you guys
dumb
have to
fun.
realize, like each movie, like for instance, if you look at ratings for like a scary movie, a 6 is a really good rating
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a scary
yeah.
movie. You know what I
Same
mean?
with-
Yeah.
same
the
with comedy.
horrendous
Yeah, I
like
know.
budgets that they
Yeah.
have, and
Yeah.
it's just
Those
how it
movies
is.
are so
Like
dumb.
a 6 is amazing.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
know.
10 out of 10 for another, but
Oh.
like a really bad
like
movie.
actual bad movie.
Like you were saying, Green Lantern
bad
earlier today.
movie.
Green Lantern's bad.
That's a
There
bad
was
movie.
a
there was. I mean, this isn't my opinion because it's not
Yeah.
like my own personal experience, but Have you ever watched The Room?
The Room.
The Room.
I
Okay,
read the book.
But that's so bad
No.
that it's good also.
Yeah, it's
You're
like hot-
tearing
it's-
me apart, that one.
Yeah. It's
so
like
good.
Yeah, that
They
one.
went, there's so much this way that it ended up the other way.
Yeah.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
It's so good. Have you seen that?
don't think
Disaster
it's
Artist? Yeah, I
so
bought the book.
good. So
But-
good.
Oh,
With James Franco.
there was
and,
a weird. You know what? Actually, this is a very unpopular opinion, but I hated the movie Watchmen.
Oh,
Watchmen?
I think
never
I've
watched
heard
it.
a lot
Watchmen.
about that.
It's
That-
very highly
okay,
rated.
that
DC
movie traumatized me when he was
It's
chainsawing the guy's hands in the
It's-
prison.
It's traumatizing. Like you see everything. You see a dick in there. You see a guy blow
Yeah.
up. You see like a
Yeah, I
most
remember the
awkward
blood.
sex scene where you feel like it's rape on screen, even though it wasn't anything close. It was just weird. Everything was just. I know it was adult. I think I watched it too early in my. I remember
Yeah,
me and my brother. Me and my brother. It was the first summer where we were living alone, and my mom wasn't there. I made dinner and then I'm like, oh, our problem was always like, you know, we never find a movie, and they were like, we're just gonna go for whatever looks good. They're like, Watchmen, superhero movie, R-rated, whatever. I love it. Let's go. Like, and I'm used to mature themes, right?
Yeah,
I watch it
it's yeah.
and I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, what is this? Like, it's
This
so
is
weird.
weird.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it is.
And like for 2 years after, I completely forgot about it. I felt like it was so traumatizing. I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
So I watched it again. I'm like, what is this? What
Yeah.
the fuck
What
is
is
this?
going on?
Like,
It is
who-
such a strange, but I liked it. I liked it because it was really weird.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna get flamed for this, but I can't stand it. I hate watching
I feel like if it was such a bad movie, I'm not gonna remember it.
You know what's
Like I don't know if that makes sense. Like I just don't remember really bad
you,
movies.
You know what's one movie I'll never forget? I literally lasted, I think 20 or 15 minutes. 50 Shades of Grey. I couldn't make it through. I wanted to see how bad it was. I could
Me
not
neither.
make it through.
I haven't watched it. It's just like I feel like it depends on what you're going there and watch it for. But like I would agree with you that there's no plot.
I just wanted
Can
to
it
see.
be on the hub?
I just wanted to see what there is. I couldn't even make it to any of the sex scenes. I was just sitting there.
George had his tissue box.
Yeah, is she like the loo? And I'm just like waiting. All right,
It's like,
and I'm just like, this is so
This is-
bad.
what is this?
Oh my god! I'd rather watch like the stories in like pornos, and you know what I mean. Like I feel that would be more entertaining than whenever I watch
That's
that.
rough.
Every
bad.
time,
Rough.
what was another one? Assassin's Creed movie.
I never watched
Oh.
that. You guys warned me against watching that,
Dude, I watched that. I
Yeah.
lost brain cells. Like it was like I was
Yeah.
like, you took a game that I loved and you destroyed it so bad. Okay,
Bro,
another one.
Any live action.
True, like Airbender.
Yeah.
The movie.
apparently
my
that's
God.
That's considered to be one of the
There
worst
was
movies of all
Death
time.
Note.
It's
I never
so
watched
bad.
that.
Death Note
Like-
was horrible.
Death
That
Note
is
was
an
trash.
understatement.
Yeah.
I have no word to describe
But
the
yeah,
last
Yeah.
back to the
Yeah.
Airbender one. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like every aspect of that movie. Like I want to know who signed that movie. Like what it crosses like, yo, this is a good movie.
I don't
and then
think
he
they
watched
watched
it
the
and he
show.
still thought it's a good
I
movie.
don't
Yeah.
think.
Because I've never watched the movie. Why is
this.
it bad? Is it just like the CGI? Is just the story? Is
So the
All of it.
pacing is terrible.
Yeah.
The
All of
story
it.
makes no sense. The
All of it.
casting makes no
it
sense.
all of the above?
The
yeah.
action
Yeah.
scenes are just CGI is like shit.
Like everything is not good.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
just
like-
like you from
it's
the
just
plot to everything to following the
It's
comics.
like somehow you're just as confused if you watch the show or if you didn't watch the show.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. It's so bad.
Didn't they do a Dragon Ball Z one?
Yes,
see,
and
the
I
fact
watched
that
that,
I
and it was
don't know
actually
it.
really bad.
Yeah.
I would say
know.
actually, like it was gonna be trash.
There's a really
it
good
is.
movie for me that I really don't like, and I don't know.
What is it?
I'm a diehard Christopher Nolan fan, but I hated Dunkirk.
I never watched
Because
Oh, I like
Dunkirk
that.
is the one movie where I watched it, I didn't get anything. If I watched that movie another 15 times, I'm still not gonna walk out knowing what
Dunkirk.
happened.
Me?
So it
with
came out
Andrew
recently.
Andrew
It's-
Garfield, right?
No, not Andrew.
No, that was
Oh.
1917.
It's like a World
It's Harry
War.
Styles.
It's a war. Yeah,
He's
I
partly-
watched
he's
it.
partly
It is
in there,
Andrew
so.
Garfield. He's
Yeah,
the-
it is Andrew
It is
Garfield.
Andrew
Do you
Garfield.
remember anything from it?
Andrew Garfield is the one with
I just
sorry.
remember him saving people even though he was
yeah,
useless.
it's not Dunkirk. That's a different movie. That's from that crazy religious guy, I think, who made The Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson, I believe he directed. That's a different movie where he was like the guy who everyone's so nice and stuff like that. And he basically
Oh, no,
saved
no,
people.
you're
That's a
right.
He
different
saved
movie.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
movie is
Harry
that?
Styles, Tom Hardy,
Yeah,
Fionn
Tom-
Whitehead.
The Dunkirk, I just found it very suspenseful.
Really?
There was no big moment like that, like Interstellar or Inception, but I found it very suspenseful. I was on my toes the whole time. But it was not. I would not say it was as good as Inception or
Yeah.
Interstellar.
100%.
That movie, Interstellar,
Tenant.
Interstellar. Oh,
I would say visually.
You have to watch it another 4 times to get Tenet.
Which one?
Yeah.
You're talking about Tenet.
Oh yeah, you need to watch it.
But no,
Did you-
Interstellar.
really
Interstellar.
good.
I think
Tenet
that's
was
one
really
of the visually one of the best movies, or if not the best. I remember when I was watching it in theater, IMAX.
Oh, IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
cried.
I really want to.
Oh, I actually did cry. I literally did
Such
cry
a
when,
good
when
movie.
he's watching the clips of his kids growing up. I
Yeah.
teared up. It was so good. Oh, I think. Yeah, but that movie was. I remember we were back in high school, and as the movie came out, we were learning about time dilation in my physics
Yeah,
class,
yeah, yeah.
and we were trying to convince my teacher, like, sir, we're literally not even joking. Like, this is actually about what we're doing, please. And he thought about it for 2 weeks. Eventually, he was just like, it's gonna be too hard to hold all the students, and then other people are gonna want to come and they'll complain.
Sorry.
So we just didn't watch it, and we just watched it like alone as friends. But such a good movie, man. Oh my god.
Interstellar's up there.
I just hate how they
Yeah.
ended that.
Yeah.
Where, it's about love and stuff as opposed to, I just felt it was kind of lame.
Interstellar.
Yeah, I felt the ending was just like
There was no. I mean,
it was all about
spoilers,
Everything else
but,
covers it, but it's
but
such
there was
Yeah,
no
100%.
scientific way of ending it properly. I mean, I guess
But-
you could go
well,
into like quantum
or
physics.
I
with-
don't know. Maybe it's just like the only thing that matters is love. I'm like,
but no, I think
man,
that's,
sort of
that was what he thought, but actually it wasn't. It was like, I mean, again, spoilers, but so the people who opened the whole nut, they put him there and they designed that whole like center of the black hole for him to find those moments. It wasn't actually love. It's just, that's his like understanding of it, because it was so beyond him.
But it's like, I don't know,
Like they found a way to basically I think like what they were trying to say is they found a way to like basically harness feelings as something like a tangible thing.
I don't know. I just thought there was too much lovey-dovey.
There was so much
Like, wow.
thinking to it. Have you watched it, Interstellar? But
So
I don't know
good.
if you guys remember the scene where he goes. This is just
The
something.
ticks.
So the ticks,
Yeah.
exactly. I was telling it to him. So the scene where they go on a water planet and then they
So
return
good.
back to, and there's the African American guy who it was like 25 years passed by,
Yeah.
and it was always like it's relativity.
Yeah.
That it's a Hans Zimmer. He's the one who directed sound for
Hans
it.
Zimmer's so
But if you
good.
guys
Oh my
listen,
God.
the
So
ticks
good.
keep getting faster. Each tick was equivalent to 1 day on Earth.
Really?
So
was
then if
one-
that whole clip, when you see the amount of ticks, it's equivalent to 25 years
Wait,
passing
I
by.
thought it was.
Oh.
So each tick was 1 day, and then there's a major
Was it a
tick. which
day
is
or a
year.
year
I thought it was. I
or-
thought it was
or-
a day.
or a
That's what
month? Because there's
There would need to be a lot of
that'd be
days.
a lot of
ticks.
The
ticks.
minute was a year. It was probably
It's
maybe
either a
15
year
years.
or
But it-
a month, I think.
Yeah, it was. You'll find on Reddit.
Oh,
Like
no,
literally,
no,
if you go on
no,
Reddit,
sorry,
be like
it's-
Hans Zimmer tick time, because I think a day would make sense because it was like a 5-minute clip, and there was a lot of ticks
No,
towards the end.
because every hour, I think there was a. You might be right. I don't
have
know.
no idea.
But I knew the ticks were timed. And was it you were showing me one of the themes for Hans Zimmer, the one called Time, not from Interstellar?
Yes.
How the music like played, the pacing of each part of the music, like
think
it
I heard
kept
that.
like becoming longer and longer. So like
Do you
from one
realize-
part of the like the score from the orchestra
Yeah.
to the next part, the transition kept getting longer and
Bigger.
longer.
There's stories to it.
Yeah,
There's
it
a
was
lot
like
of
a
story to how like he
Yeah,
makes
to the
music.
point where like because the way the music, it's hard to explain, because the music, it went up and then down, and then at the end it went up but didn't go back down because they were separated so much.
Like you have to watch Time. I feel like if you watch the I'm saying, or
You have to listen
to it. Yeah,
Time,
listen
yeah.
to Time. You'll realize. But
Time by Hans Zimmer.
So
there's
good.
so many. There's just so much of these movies that are like another really good Memento. I don't know if it's
Memento.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
I, think I saw that one. Is that
Yeah.
one he can't remember past like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
like
good. You told me
the
about
plot
that
was
one.
like
Yeah.
you watch and then it goes back a
Yeah.
chunk and then
Yeah,
it goes
it's
forward.
so good.
You have to pay
That's
so much
creative.
attention.
Yeah, that's
So
a
much
creative.
Man, Christopher
story.
Nolan's a
Yeah.
insane.
Dude, this guy, it's all time though.
Insane
One friend, my
director.
friend was telling me the other day, it's like it's he just always plays around with time in his movies.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean,
concepts
that's what
of
he's
time.
interested in,
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's making he's focusing on something else. God, not in but first of all his movies are connected. I don't know if like
Oh,
even
really?
Interstellar. Remember when they went on a capsule and they slept before they went on that huge sleep when they traveled?
Yeah.
That has strong correlation to stuff that happened in Inception because it was dreams and stuff in Inception. So that song and how they were doing it and how they fell asleep.
Oh, I thought you
didn't
meant
read
they're
it.
in the same universe.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
that's what I thought.
No. The correlation as
Christopher
in
Nolan
like
multiverse.
the way it was portrayed
Like
was
Easter
he was
egg
grabbing
sort
off
of-
yeah.
type of things.
I mean, if I was a director, I'd put Easter eggs. I feel like that's like a
Yeah.
must. If
It'd
be
if-
fun.
Yeah,
it'd be like nice thing for people to find. I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice too.
Give people nice
Right.
puzzles.
I want to know an opinion from you guys on about something about movies. So the other day I was talking to one of my friends. He was giving a theory about. He's like in movies and music, but now we're talking about movies, so let's focus on that. He's like, once you hit a certain point of the amount of movies that you've watched,
Mhm.
you hit a threshold where now you start appreciating it much more, and you just realize things that other people don't realize. Like if I watch a movie, let's say this is my 3000th movie and I'm watching Interstellar, and there's a guy who's watching Interstellar for the second time. You, as a person who's watched so much more movies, you would experience and enjoy the movie much more and realize the subtle details
Yes.
that they put, the plot, the little like Easter eggs that they put, everything that they hide in here and there. But you hit a certain threshold where you just truly start appreciating.
I feel like he's talking
Movies.
about two things. If you watch the same movie over and over again, that's
No.
when you notice the Easter eggs. But if you watch a lot of movies, then you start noticing themes, symbolism,
Well, that's it too.
tropes of characters. That's why,
Yeah.
because
But
like
then you start going towards specific type of like you start getting interested in movies that are not the most basic plot,
because
not the most basic
yeah,
stuff.
because
you
they
know?
become predictable.
Yeah.
I think like
Yeah.
if something becomes predictable, at least for me, if it can't surprise me, it's not as interesting. Like
I think
yeah.
I think it's almost just like as you watch this, you're getting experience, learning about all these things, and you have all this reservoir of knowledge in your head from all these movies. So when you watch any movie, you can
It's like experience.
you can just you can see all these things that maybe someone who doesn't watch any movies
You're just not going to pick it up as much as
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
which I kind of like. Sometimes it's just like, oh,
What do
it's
you
like, oh,
think?
did
Kyle?
you notice that?
Oh,
I
sorry.
think it's just like
Sorry.
general experience. So it's like anything. Like the more you do something or the more like you watch something, the more things you're going to notice, the more things you're going to pay attention to. It's because probably after you watch your first few movies, you break it down, you talk to your friends about it.
Yeah.
You each notice parts that you probably didn't notice, someone else probably noticed. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to start paying attention to movies in a different way now.
So hard to test this. Can we find somebody who hasn't watched a movie and he's
Yeah,
like
you got to
25?
find someone who hasn't watched
My
a
like
movie,
5-year-old
and then
cousin
someone
be
who's
like, here,
watched,
let's
like,
watch.
Watch
not
whatever
10,
movie.
but a lot more.
That'd be an interesting like a psychology
thing to-
yeah, like a would it be anthropology?
Well, it was more for but music, but it
No,
was
it
just
would
I'm like, this is kind of. I feel like I enjoy movies now much more than before. Like I was before, I was like,
Feel
oh,
like-
movies is
It
right.
depends on the type of mood I feel like I'm in.
That's such
Well,
a
depends.
pretentious thing to say. Though it's like, yes, because of my my knowledge of movies.
So many.
I enjoy it much more than you can, plebeian. Like I fully get what he's saying.
but the
But
way-
it can come off as pretentious.
But I feel like movie people are very much like that because I took like a film studies course in uni, and anyone who was really into the course or really into movies was very much like this.
they call them films. That's how you know.
Like the prof for it was very much like, if you don't watch these, you're a peasant, and you're just like, can you relax? Like, like this is why I'm taking the course.
popping a
you don't realize the symbolism in the objection
And
of
like
the
they
color
break
in
it down
your.
so like
dare you.
heavily, and you're just like, bro, I'm just here trying to watch a movie.
Come on,
I'm just trying to pass my
I'm just trying to get a free course here.
fast time. You're expecting too much from me.
Yeah.
Oh god. 100%. I feel like if I watched Memento in high school, I would have been like, okay,
You probably wouldn't even like it.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't have liked it.
You know what?
compared to
Oh.
now.
I should watch Watchmen again.
Yeah, maybe
Not-
now.
not
Maybe now
anytime
you've
soon,
now that you're
And,
I'm a connoisseur.
yeah,
Yes,
connoisseur,
I'm a
man,
connoisseur
a
of
film.
the awesome
I need to watch
movies.
Shaolin Soccer.
It's Italian.
Yeah.
So many
Genuinely-
cultures.
Generally, like, and what is it? It's like that like Bollywood style of Asian movie. I have to enjoy. That's what it is.
I
It's
have
pretty
no idea
dramatic.
what the genre is called, but if it has a
Shaolin
name, shonen.
Makes anime into it.
Man,
Yeah.
oh, anime is a whole different world.
It's
Yeah,
a-
we can't.
yeah, it's a
It'll be
different
a
day.
different.
We could probably
episode.
touch upon it on another episode, another day, and then we can go through there.
Yeah,
Well,
because George doesn't watch.
Yeah,
George,
so,
you have to. We have
okay.
to.
I want to. I want
Yeah.
to do a segment eventually where we show we. So I saw this in another podcast called Anime Out of Context, and it's one-on-one. So one guy is the biggest weeb, watched every anime in existence. The other guy never seen anime before. Like
Sounds like
he's
me.
heard of it exactly. So
It'd be perfect.
the first part, their episode consists of two parts. The first part, he tells him about the anime, describes it in a way, gives him the synopsis, and then they have like just intermission music for us, but for them they go and watch 3 to 5 episodes of that anime. Then they come back and the guy gives his review.
They just review.
We have to do that once. I really
So
really
yes,
wanna do that.
there's a lot of good things that we can
I'm
probably
no,
do
but the
in
thing
there.
is, I don't want to show him a good anime. I want to show him the worst.
Oh,
anime.
have the
Something
other episode.
really
He's never ever going
cringy.
to touch anime ever again.
I want to show him
Ruin
an
him.
ecchi.
Like,
I want to show him
thank
an
God I'm
ecchi.
not-
Are you
Oh,
trying to
boy.
make me like not watch anime, or do you want me to get into it?
I just want to see your reaction to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I'll send you into
I'm
the
down.
deep dark.
Yeah,
abyss.
we'll show you polar opposites.
I mean,
Yeah.
I used to in Lebanon. I used to watch some anime. There was a channel for mangas, and so I used
Space
to
Tube.
watch that. Not Space Tube, it was like actually just animes,
Just
And-
anime. Oh.
just animes, and
YTV at night.
I don't remember what it's
Yeah.
called, but I just never
got into it. That's a
No,
competitive
wasn't
thing.
your thing.
Yeah.
probably would have helped if it was in English. Maybe I
Yeah.
just like,
Oh,
watch
yo,
it.
Arabic dubs. Arabic dubs for anime are so intense. Like, and by the way, some of them, because in some countries it's super religious. So if the girl character is very skimpy,
Yeah.
they block out some parts.
Oh well,
Nice.
because of
As the
religion.
show- It's so impressive though. It's
Yeah.
like, how did you redact her whole
Yeah, I
skin?
know. Like back then,
And
I
they
know.
do that for every character too.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
watching, go watch Dragon Ball opening in Arabic. It's so sick. I could literally listen to it while I'm working out. Best pump. It's so good. It's so good.
Pumping that.
It's so like burly and like manly and just like, like it's like a,
gets you going.
yeah, it's like a
It's
war
intense.
chant. I mean,
Interesting.
not really. It's not violent at all. Actually, if you listen to the lyrics, very deep actually. Very cheesy.
So till next week then.
I think with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
note, we
leave
should
it
end the
there.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good
Don't
one.
forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you next
And
time.
we'll see you next week.